Never love is about to die. We're gonna fan the fire. Violence striking down things in a peace. Yes, it is. Listen, poverty in the home and crime out in this. You got kind-hearted people turning to hate. Man's about to destroy the human race. Yes. Oh, wait. Listen. I believe. 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 The flame of love is about to die. I believe. About to die. I believe. I believe it's about to die. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. Somebody fan the fire. Love is about to die. Somebody fan the fire. Come on, man. Come on, dear. Love is dying today. Somebody fan the fire. Come on. And my love is dying, I say. We're gonna fan the fire. Come on along. I believe the flame of love is about to die. I believe the flame of love is about to die.
That's that shit, boy. Yeah. Oh, it's a motherfucking shame what I seen in the last 3 weeks or the last 4 weeks pertaining to Saneter and motherfucking Sanchez. Now I'm fit to fan that motherfucking fire. The flaming love is about to die, y'all. I'm fit to flame that motherfucking fire, nigga, or fan the fire. But with that being said, great introduction. Everybody should know that. Earth, Wind, and Fire, fan the fire, because that's what I'm here to do. Because I believe that the flame of love is about to die, nigga. Woo, shit. I want to share my screen here. I don't know if anybody been paying attention to what I've been doing in the last probably say couple months. I did say that I was going to be on Sanchez's ass. Like this one dude is on Dr. Umar Johnson's ass, but a lot of people are on Dr. Umar Johnson's ass. But to say the least, being on Sanchez's ass is a must. He needs to be checked. And as you notice today, if y'all watch Saneter, you see I had him running. All of a sudden, he had to take a break. He didn't have to take a break when they called on Bobby. But the moment I raised my hand and said, hold on, man, and he heard the voice, he can't see, Sanchez can't put face with voice with me in terms of that, because I only show my face every once in a blue moon, even on my own stream. But on Saneter, I guess it's a prerequisite or a requirement that you have to show your face. So when I showed my face, he didn't know who the fuck I was. He didn't know who the fuck I was until I said, no. When he heard that voice, that nigga crawled in his hole. He went to Wikipedia And he went to searching. He said, I gotta get myself prepared for a nigga like Didact, because he's gonna be coming with them real live questions. No dogma, no religious connotation behind it, none of that shit. He's gonna want some straight up information that can be applied, and I can't answer that. So I gotta fuck the whole goddamn thing up, which you already did, but we're gonna get off into that. Watch. But we're going back yesteryear in terms of that. Not yesteryear, about like 3 weeks ago. Right. I did a live saying that Sanchez is an agent of confusion, which he is. Now, on part one, I was telling you about Saneter came up, and I never got a chance to get to that part. But now that the door is open, I'm finna get to that part. We finna get to the good part. And with that being said, it's a right around about this part I'm finna play. I'm going to mute up. I'm going to play it straight through. I'm not going to stop it so y'all can hear it. This is the part that I think Saneter types in his chat room, and he sees it. As a matter of fact, I'm looking right at it. Hold on. Let me rid of my avatar. Right. All right. Now you can see where it says salute at Saneter Studios in his chat room. So he is in his chat, but watch how he brings him up. In the point of where I'm at right now is, remember I told you it was a 6 hour and 50-minute video, right? So now here we are. It's almost like God-given, to say the least. It's almost like a part 3, but mistakenly to be a part 3 to it, because I didn't plan to make a part 3 to this. But when I went on Saneter today, it confirms it. When I seen that shit 3 weeks ago on his show titled Part 2, Hebrew Israelites ban Sanchez from their chat, and here's why. When he did that stream, Saneter popped up and watched the Cohoots. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to mute my voice. And oh yeah, my microphone is working on my keyboard, so I can be more fluent in pausing and commentating, but I'm not going to stop this one. I'm just going to let it play through.
Who said, fuck all that shit, who made it cool to put on beads and dashikis and shit, even though I joke on it, nigga. That's what I'm saying. We giving these folks more credit than folks who really are. Like, Kanye can't be on Jewish platforms and you telling me pray for Kanye, they trying to kill him. But yet that nigga going to the same Jews platforms to do an interview that you said trying to kill him. That shit don't make sense. Malcolm X had reached a point where he couldn't even really go to no mobile platforms and shit when these folks really trying to target you. That's what I'm saying. Man, salutes to Saneter. And guess what I'm gonna do, y'all? I'm dropping a link. If Saneter get on this bitch, you know it's gonna be epic. We already had 7 Boma.
I know I said I wasn't gonna pause it. I was gonna let it play straight through, but I gotta rewind it again so y'all can get context of this. So y'all can have clear context. Saneter was in his chat room. Now he's extending the olive branch by saying, I'm finna drop the link, and I hope Saneter will pop up. So let me rewind it a bit, pause myself, and I'm gonna let it play straight through. This time, no interruption, but I had to give this commentary to make it clear where the Cohoots is finna take place. Pay attention. These are agents of confusion. And they see it coming. They see me coming. They see it. They trying to prepare themselves, but you can't prep yourself for a triple master.
And now I couldn't even really go to no mobile platforms and shit when these folks really trying to target you. That's what I'm saying. Man, salutes to Saneter. And guess what I'm gonna do, y'all? I'm dropping a link. If Saneter get on this bitch, you know it's gonna be epic. We already had 7 Boma, and now the OG Saneter might brace us with his motherfucking presence. But if not, we appreciate him dropping through for the chat, and y'all go sub to Saneter. And guess what, man? That's one guy that I know got a platform that may not agree with everything I say, but I can still go to that man platform and have a voice. That ain't the case with a lot of these niggas, man. Salute to Saneter. But salute. Yeah, man. Straight up, because y'all know that, like, we grew this, our platform grew a lot fucking with Saneter. So he already know his love, man. But yeah, the thing is, that nigga might not agree on no earth flat or none of that. But guess why I say Saneter a real one? He know when our people hypocrites. Saneter, I was calling these Hebrews out. Saneter, let me come on your platform, Saneter. Saneter, I want to call the Hebrews out, Saneter. These niggas is following Kanye West, Saneter. And the Bible is telling them that the Antichrist would come in the end of days. Tell me I wouldn't do a fire show on Saneter calling these fake-ass Hebrew camps out, y'all, on the fucking idolatry. I know Saneter want to do that one. Come on, Sa. Come on, nigga, let's go.
Oh yeah, that'll be
let's
fire,
go,
bro.
Nigga.
Nah, man, we don't follow Kanye. We don't
nigga, Saneter, where you at? I'm about to call Saneter right now, nigga. I want that smoke.
Y'all got it twisted. We don't follow
that,
Kanye,
nigga.
We just understand he came into the truth.
Nigga, I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you.
We don't follow no man.
Nah, hold on,
Sanchez,
nigga.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Bring Saneter up, Sanchez.
Nigga, hold on. Nigga, Saneter is on this bitch right now. Saneter, whenever you get your mic ready, unmute, let them know. The mic check that it's the real Saneter, because you know we have trolls too. Let's do that.
Peace, brother Sanchez. This Saneter.
Saneter, OG, let me, dropping the bombs to the OG. Saneter, we gonna mute our flow. Saneter, I call all these Hebrews out on your channel with that.
I know I said I wasn't going to pause. I was going to let it play straight through. I'm going back on my own word because I got to get some commentary here. This is where Saneter comes in at. Because remember, he was just begging for Saneter to come up to his show. Finally, he come up. Now we at the crux of the Cohoots. This is not today, y'all. This was 3 weeks ago. And I'm going to get to the one that was done today because that was the one I participated on. And I realized something, that when you come with straight hard facts and asking questions about something that's empirical, where you got to put empirical evidence to it, them motherfuckers, all of them tuck their tail, including Saneter. You fucking agent of confusion. What up, Mental Ninja? But let us move forward.
They hypocrisy. You know, they tell me that Saneter, that this won't be no considered an antichrist. What Kanye doing, having a statue all that of himself with Christ on Hollywood. Come on, Saneter, you feel me on this one? Fuck the flat earth shit.
100%. You on it, man. As soon as I clicked on it, I seen your feed popped up because I'm subscribed to you. I watch damn near everything you do, and you right on it, brother. That's why I'm like, yo, go ahead and drop that knowledge on these nuts, man. Like you said, the conscious community been talking about this for a long time. But matter of fact, me and brother Sankofa, we did something yesterday on this. I was about to upload the video, and that's when I seen you was live. And I'm like, yeah, I started listening for a minute. So, yeah.
So Sankofa was going to do a stream with Saneter talking about Hebrew Israelites ban Sanchez from their chat. And here's why. Did you read his title, Saneter? Before you just open up your mouth, you fucking dick-sucking ass, agent of fucking confusion ass nigga. I'm here to put you bitches down. Die that fucking Mercury, nigga. But let us move forward. I know I said, let me take that back, y'all. I gotta commentate this shit because this is the shit I told y'all on my last 2 streams that I wanted to do this. It was part 1 to Brother Sanchez is an agent of confusion, and I got PBVAGRYYCEB, and that spells COINTELPRO, but it's spelled in a cipher called the rotate by 13 places. You're going to have to use your brain fucking with Didac here. So what I did, I put that in code, but I'm telling you what it is unscrambled, you dumbass niggas. It's COINTELPRO. What the fuck you think these niggas are? Agents of confusion, and stop saying chaos. Chaos has a purpose. Confusion don't. Chaos has a purpose, meaning it moves with order, you dumb motherfucker, even though you was opposed from chaos to order because it's something that you can understand. But anything that you don't, you call it chaos. But you have motherfucking agents of confusion that will not allow you to decipher that. Just like how you looking at that decipherment, and that's confusing to some of y'all. But to most of y'all, that's chaos. I'm talking about for my people who follow me. Most of my people know that is chaos. I'm just putting it in order. Rotate by 13 places. When you go back to these two, where I got Bro Sanchez as an agent of confusion, and part two, this was the stream I was doing it on. And I said, what the fuck? When I was watching the stream, I said, Saneter done stepped into the trap. What the fuck is really going on here? So now we at the crux of why I know that they are in cahoots. The plot thickens, nigga. The plot thickens.
Yes, brother, you are 100% correct. We've been doing this for a long time, and it's always been when celebrities step up to do it, Sanchez, the people in the community, those who claim to be conscious, get ahead and give that brother more of, credence to his information than he would hear it from you or me or anybody else. You saw him? Because they got celebrity. And so if a celebrity said, oh man, I'm gonna ride his shit, I'm gonna ride his dick all the way to the end, because Kanye said it. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy.
This is fact.
We've
That's
been
fact.
saying this for the longest, brother. And that's what I said. Like,
And may I add, they always say that Saneter is a Mason. In his background, you see all the Egyptian paraphernalia. In Sanchez's background, you also see Egyptian paraphernalia. Let us move forward.
I was watching a video by what's the brother name, man? Oh man, Farrakhan came out on him and talked about him having raping his wife or something.
Rizza Islam.
Rizza Islam.
Mhm.
I'm watching the video by Rizza Islam. You know what Rizza said yesterday?
Mhm.
Rizza said, "You got rich because they let you get rich." And I mean, you got to see the clip that he was saying. The clip that he was talking about. I got to play that clip. In other words, we can't get no money without the white man allowing us to get it. This is what Rizza is saying.
He right.
You know? Yeah.
He
But
right.
yeah, Sanchez, I would love for you to come on my show and do a show on this right here, a presentation. I would
Because-
love that, brother.
Hey, because Saneter, the Hebrews been blocking me out their chat room because I said, wait a minute. Y'all Bible told y'all when the false Christ come in the end of days, he gonna have a name like Jesus and all these idols and shit and all that. And y'all falling for that shit. That's why I want to tell all the Hebrews when I get on Saneter channel, I'm more following Yahshua's ways than all of you niggas. All
Damn
of you
right.
niggas,
That's what I say.
That's
What
what I'm
about the
saying, bro.
What about the Hebrews that don't believe in the New Testament, Yahusha? and
They ain't
Christ?
none of them following it, brother, because they ain't heeding it. Everybody ignoring the part where it say, be wary for the false Christ in the end of days. A nigga calling himself Jesus, putting himself on a cross. I was telling the Hebrews in they chat, why y'all supporting that? I'm not even a Christian or Hebrew Bible believer, but I'm telling nigga just on the sake of being from the Bible belt. On some Bible shit, you a fake Christian if you supporting Jesus. That was what all my shit was about. You fake as
Nah, because
fuck.
we've been
You fake than a
calling out the
motherfucker,
so-called
right?
Jews. We've been calling out the so-called Jews since the since the 70s.
Man,
80s.
I'm gonna act
Even
a fool on
even
Saneter
Saneter
channel.
know Khalid Muhammad
I'm gonna
used to
act
deal
a
with the Israelites.
fool on Saneter channel, bro. When the Hebrews come up, you can
So-
open that calls up Saneter too, for real, man.
We've been
Yeah.
calling out the so-called Jews for years.
Hey, I don't got your number, Sanchez. I'm gonna need to get your number so we can do something.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Guess what? Hey, send me an email at talktoBroSanchez@gmail.com, and then I'm
Talk to Bro Sanchez. Got you.
and then yeah, so we can get. And guess
Hey,
what,
bro,
man?
Hey, bro, Sanchez, you know George. Ye just called out the mother of one of his George Floyd's children.
Bro, I'm gonna mop the floor with these Hebrews if they come on there
No
trying to
Christ, no testament,
justify,
my
bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Don't do it, Sanchez. You gonna
No
lose,
Christ, no
Sanchez.
testament, my boy.
Don't do it, Sanchez.
Bro, it tell them don't worship no graven images, and Kanye got a graven gold image statue of himself on the cross on Hollywood. How they gonna win on me?
Mm.
Hey, I'm just letting you know, bro. You know, hey, we don't play. So you just.
I disagree with you, brother. That's exactly what y'all do. None of y'all go by the rules and laws and statutes of the commandments. The first thing y'all say is we got rules and laws and statutes of the commandments. And the reason why the Most High destroyed us, because we broke the goddamn rules. Well, nigga, you're breaking the rules today. All of you niggas are breaking the same goddamn rules that you claim the Most High destroyed you for. So what you talking about? You're homos, you're messing with other man's wives. In there, you're liars. Y'all the number one goddamn liars. If you really believed in it and you keep the commandments, then goddamn it, every goddamn Hebrew should be stoning homosexuals today. Don't it say man should not lay with another man as he lie with woman? But y'all see it every day, and y'all ain't doing the goddamn thing about it. And the Most I say keep all the statutes and keep all the commandments.
Let
me to talk.
go.
Now
He
you
got
trying
the
to
Holy
me
Ghost.
off. The Most I say keep all the commandments, brother.
Nah, let Saneter keep. See, that's what I don't like when a nigga get the Holy Ghost and that flame go to coming, boy. They gotta get that hose pipe out and spray that down, boy.
What the fuck he talking about the Holy Ghost? And both of these dumbass niggas don't believe or don't subscribe to Christianity and what it means to have the Holy Ghost, even though it can be claimed, because the phenomenon that they feel is adrenaline rush. That's what they feel. That's the chemical phenomenon that takes place is in adrenal gland. Remember we talked about that chakra and what that adrenal gland does, and also the adrenaline. But nonetheless, let us move forward, because I don't want to I don't want to drag this out. Let us move forward.
I'm telling you, boy. That's
the Most High
real
should be
shit.
destroying a lot of you niggas today, because y'all still doing the same damn thing.
Nah, you know that ain't true.
I told y'all niggas, Madon, that y'all ain't following y'all Bible the right way, man.
Bro, this thing take time, man. This ain't no over.
Speaking facts. Hey, bro, Sanchez and Saneter.
This ain't a period of time, King. It's not
Guess what, nigga? Guess what? I told him this. Watch this. Hey, let Saneter unmute. Let me say this, and I'm gonna let y'all unmute. Salute to Saneter. Saneter, tell me what you think about this now. If Yahweh Shah showed up and went to Hollywood and saw the statue of Jesus up there with the crown of thorns on in gold, would he be pleased or displeased? Now, I had to get a Hebrew in a corner, and he said, yeah, he'll be displeased. So I was like, so why y'all pleased then?
Brother, he would be displeased, man. The same way y'all talked about the making of the golden calf when Moses went up the mountain.
Yeah.
And when he came back, he found out that they was making a golden calf, making graven images. It's the same goddamn thing.
That's facts.
Okay, and why did they do that? Why did they do that?
Fucking figgity facts,
they do that?
Nigga.
Why did they do that, Saneter?
They did it as a gift to give to the Most High, because they wanted to replace Moses, because they thought Moses had died. Remember? He was
so
gone.
They wanted to go back to the ways of the Egyptians, right?
No, not the ways of the Egyptians.
Yeah, that's what it was. No, they still had that philosophy, that consciousness that they had in Egypt. That's why they built that golden calf. They had that same consciousness they had in Egypt when the Most High Moses told them, look, leave all that alone. But nah, they went back. That's why you see what happened to them people that did that.
Hey, peace, brother Sanchez. Good to see you again. Appreciate you for being here and allowing.
Yeah, you good, brother. But we finna let while Saneter here, we gonna let him take precedence because I'm always an MVP player, and that I'm a member of the HOK, and that's why I'm going over.
Y'all heard that nigga, right? Y'all heard him, because remember, he said he ain't a part of none of that shit, right? That was including the HOK, because remember, he was trying to shit on HOTC. He was trying to shit on that, but he was talking about the House of Consciousness too, because he called them a bunch of House of Coons and all that shit. Now he's a member of HOK, and look at him. I froze that nigga. See, I can thumbnail that. What they call that, thumbnail? I could look. The nigga he throwing up his mighty. He think he mighty, but he's not. He's not mighty at all. But he throwing up his muscles, celebrating on the fact that he said he's a member of HOK, and he said he was not a member of HOK not too long ago when he cussed out fucking Sir Drop and made Sir Drop tuck his tail in between his ass, talking about HOTC. But let us move forward.
Over there, nigga here that did that.
Hey, peace, brother Sanchez. Good to see you again. Appreciate you for being here and allowing.
Yeah, you good, brother. But we finna let while Saneter here, we gonna let him take precedence because I'm always an MVP player, and that I'm a member of the HOK, and that's why I'm going over there, nigga. Right. And I'm going over there, and I'm finna put this because Saneter know what's real. Them niggas ain't going with that.
You gotta excuse me, I'm smoking too. That nigga said he's HOK, House of Consciousness. He's a member of House of Consciousness. I want y'all to remember this shit, y'all.
That Bible, them niggas is following the Antichrist, and they took the first one smoking. What's the sad part, Saneter? They took the first one smoking.
Yeah, and a lot of them, they don't really read their own book. Number one, God and the devil are one and the same, Sanchez. You got a higher self and a lower self. Every human being have a devil inside of them.
These are ages of confusion. The information is to confuse you. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. When people are colloquially trying to explain some shit where they are rudimentarily in their mindset, when they rudimentarily in a mindset, that's a word, y'all, rudimentary. You can look it up. They're very rudimentary. But with that being said, when you explain these stories out of the Bible to them, they think they are being scholastic by thinking they reading in between the lines of something that they can't even comprehend on the level of literal, because it's a stance, right? Because remember we talked about stance and stand. They only stand under, so they only understand. They only have a literal comprehension because they taking it literal, and they think they breaking it down by taking it literal, but not how to break it down or inferentiate, which is inferential comprehension, meaning that you are breaking it down. Now you're reading in between the lines. Once you get past that level, right, which in stand is understanding. Understanding is literal. Understanding is inferential. Once we step out of the inferential level of comprehension, now we in evaluative. Now we fit to evaluate all the shit that we have read, not only reading in between the lines, we fit to evaluate it. And evaluative, now we fit to get a overstanding with it. Once we pass the level of overstanding, which is now we at the final level. The final level is now outstanding, which you are standing outside, which you would call the cube, or standing outside of what you think you're boxed in. And on a level of comprehension, that is what you call applied. It's called applied comprehension. Now it's not even knowing how to read instructions to put a bed together, because that is rudimentary. That's rudimentary for a person who can read some instructions. Like you buy a furniture set from Kia, you read the instructions and you put it together. People assume to think they did all levels of comprehension because they read it, they putting it into practice, and now the bed is being made. No, you are well instructed. That's it. You are well instructed. And you learn that in third grade. Once you pass third grade, I guaranteed you, the Department of Education don't give two fucks about y'all dropping out of school after the third grade. Because after the third grade, you have picked up a literal comprehension, just an understanding. So when we, of the masters of the world, give you instruction, it wouldn't be too hard for you to follow. And I'm being harsh purposely, so you can break up out of that shit. So you can get to the level of outstanding. Now you're thinking outside the box. You outside the cube. But until then, you are subordinate. So let us move forward.
Every human being have a God inside of them. You have a higher self and a lower self. They keep on trying to make the two think that they are different. Why do you think God can never kill the devil? Or the devil can never kill God? To kill the devil is to destroy the whole goddamn religion. Because now you don't need a God. Once you kill the devil, ain't no more demonic shit on the planet. You see? So every religion has a God and every religion has a devil. You are both. You are one and the same, man. Let somebody come and mess with your children. Watch how quick you turn diabolical on a nigga. You ready to kill a nigga, huh? Doesn't it say in your Bible that I create good, I create bad, I create darkness, I create light? I'm
Big
the
facts.
Lord who created all these things. Doesn't it say that?
That's facts. Hey,
It tells
Saneter.
you all of that. So it's letting you know, even when it says, when there's a trumpet blows in your city, who cannot hear it? How the joint go? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know that scripture.
Oh, yeah.
Is there evil in the city and the Lord has not done it? So the Lord is letting you know, I'm the one that created evil. I'm the one that created good.
Good. Come on.
Doesn't it say in the scripture that there's a time to kill and there's a time to heal? There's a time for laughter and there's a time for crying and moaning. Don't it tell you that? So it's letting you know that you are the God. You are the demon. It exists within you. Higher self, lower self. Simple. Simple.
You know what? And it is so fucking. I'm so glad that the OG saw the fuck that. Saw's a master teacher. Let me tell y'all some real shit, man. Saneter told you niggas, ye are gods. Saneter telling you what Jesus told you niggas. But Saneter, they don't want to believe that. Why do we want to believe the part that said we servants, but when it said we gods, oh, that's blasphemy and shit.
Yeah.
Because our consciousness haven't reached that level. A lot of us, some of
Brother,
us, is
speak
getting
for
that
yourself.
That's why I said
Saneter consciousness at that level and been there.
Right.
And we telling
a lot of us is. A lot of people are, but all I'm saying is that's a consciousness that you have to reach once you understand that. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Nigga, all I'm saying,
the military order.
bro, all I'm saying is,
God to you,
hey, bro, Saneter hopping on here, back in the fact that these Hebrews is hypocrites supporting Jesus mean a lot to me, nigga. That's some respect like a motherfucker, bro. That's let you know this some real shit though. He's a real one for that, bro. He's a real one for that, bro. I've been getting blocked in niggas' chat room, nigga, telling them, bro, y'all following an Antichrist.
Yo, Saneter, didn't Dr. Khalid Muhammad say he was an Israelite, brother?
Yeah, but that's not all he said. He said, I'm a Hebrew, I'm a Moor, I'm a black man. He claimed everything. And so you got to understand what he was saying. He didn't just say, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And that's the only quote that y'all stop at. You never complete the quote. He said, I'm not just a Hebrew. He said, I'm a Moor.
Mind y'all, this happened 9 days ago. I kind of exaggerated the time when I said 2 weeks ago. I exaggerated that, but 9 days ago this happened. This happened. This is the setup. This is the setup.
I'm a Muslim. I'm all of that. All of that is me. That's what he said. He ain't just claimed to be a Hebrew. What he was doing was trying to show y'all love and trying to unify all the groups. That's what he was doing, brother. He was trying to unify.
Saneter. I think right.
Came out the Bible, though, Saneter. Most of the stuff that Khaled said came from the Bible. Most all his vernacular.
Brother, in Khalid Muhammad last days, he was moving away from the Bible. He was moving away from the Quran. He was moving towards Kemet. He was going into ancient Kemetic science, brother. He started building with Dr. Ben. Y'all seen his uncle on his ring? Y'all seen his, he started coming out with all the kente cloth. He was going back into the heart of Africa. Yes.
Yeah,
started building with Dr. John Henry Clark, Professor Amos Wilson, Francis Cress Welsing.
Yeah, like I never really looked at Khalid Muhammad as like NOI. I just looked at him like Khalid Muhammad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally, but Saneter, you know, group, you was on the ground with the movement and all that. So that's why I'm saying but one thing we got to say is that I always say this, Saneter, if everybody really followed the ways of Jesus Christ, the world will be a better place. But the church ain't doing it. The Hebrews ain't doing it. That's why I said, guess what, nigga? I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Hebrew, but I debate any Hebrew or Christian that I follow the Bible more than y'all. That I heed to its warnings more than y'all. Because guess what I said? Because I promise you I do. And I'm going to debate this on Saneter channel myself. I'm going to debate it, nigga, on Saneter channel, nigga. And guess, can't nobody fuck with me when I do it. You know how they ain't going to be able to fuck with me? Because guess what? The Bibles talk about idolatry and graven images. Kanye got a graven image of himself. Any Hebrew nigga trying to debate me on Saneter channel about why you gonna defend why you supporting Jesus, and we've been saying this shit, nigga. Saneter channel been waking more folks up than Kanye, and the shit he's saying ain't nothing but surface kindergarten shit. And y'all give it a pass and be like, well, the people ain't ready for this big shit yet, nigga. You don't believe in the people, then, nigga. Y'all be talking where they need to spoon feed it to the celebrities can spoon feed the people. But if Brother Sanchez go live and try to spoon feed you, y'all won't even donate or hit the like button. You'll say, man, why you spoon feeding us? But Kanye can do it. All these niggas can do it. Fuck this idolatry. I'm gonna rebuke these Hebrews, nigga. I'm telling you, my vengeance ain't gonna be quenched till I be able to debate some real Hebrews on why the fuck you supporting Kanye and your Bible tell you about idolatry and antichrist and shit. Nigga, that make you a hypocrite. And niggas was blocking me for that.
We support Kanye because he called out the people that stole our birthright. That's why we support the brother.
Bro, that's
brother, come on, man. That's crazy as hell, man.
Talk.
Y'all crazy. You forgot what he said about everything else? What's the brother that got what's the brother name?
George Floyd.
Where the police put his knee in the brother's neck?
Yep. George Floyd shit.
He said what he said about George Floyd. You forgot what he said about so many things about black people.
Hebrews do not
and just because he say one thing about black people.
You know, this is the same community. Y'all need to go back on what they said about George Floyd themselves. How they saying that this was a so-called Mason sacrifice and all that good shit, and it was a conspiracy. So when Kanye West gave you his conspiracy theory behind it about them hitting them with fentanyl and all that shit, why y'all up in arms? Y'all shot as a motherfucker. And here's the kicker about it. When he did say that, y'all wasn't, now y'all up in arms because y'all feel like y'all now can have an excuse to hate on Kanye West because the Jews hate on him. Now, since the Jews hate on Kanye West, y'all feel like now I can hate on Kanye West too. Since the Jews hate him, man, get the fuck up out of here.
Y'all go crazy over this dude.
Nah, that don't mean
Sanchez,
we follow.
that's the problem with us, Sanchez.
Yeah.
We always give entertainers the leadership position. These
facts.
are entertainers. You don't see no goddamn movie man, a leader of the white people of Europeans.
See, that's
we
how
give
hey, bro.
entertainers leadership.
Y'all hear this? Saneter coming up here saying the spirit of Malcolm X, nigga. What I was playing that video with y'all. He just said it in his own way.
This is the worst case of fellatio I have ever seen. It's called fallacy of it's fellatio of fallacies. I'm going to repeat that. It's called fellatio of fallacies, and this is the worst case I have ever seen of fellatio fallacies. Not only that, these motherfuckers are sucking each other dick, but they lying about sucking each other dick. That shit crazy in the motherfucker. But let us move forward. Like they got independent thoughts outside of what they fucking goddamn handler is telling them to do. But let us move forward.
That's what I was telling y'all, man. Who else gonna let not like I said, I respect Kanye as a producer.
Yes.
But nigga, I'm not finna follow him on no revolutionary shit. That's when I rather follow Khalid Muhammad. Khalid Muhammad may disagree with swirling. I swirl, but from a militant position, if my
he said he swirl. You hear that shit? He call it swirling. So he do got someone outside of what he consider Negroid. Because you can find you a black Vietnamese. You can go find you a black Russian. You can go find you a black German. You can go find you a black Dutch, Swedish, Italian. You can go find black every goddamn where. But the nigga had to make sure he got to please because he's the biggest. And I want to be careful with that word now because what I heard that Umar Johnson got banned from TikTok from using the word coon. I want to be careful in using that. But it's another word that I wanted to use. Oh, shit. And I forgot it. But this is what you witnessing in terms of the rhetoric, man. This shit is crazy.
my life on the line on some warfare shit, I'm following Khalid Muhammad and not Kanye West, goddammit, because
Sambo. Thank you very much. It's Sambo.
all of his revolutionary work only come into play when he's beefing with his zaddy.
There you go, Sanchez.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, Sanchez, how do we know
Saneter,
that this nigga is not an op for them? Here, we need you to get them up. We need you to rabble-rouse the black community. You know that?
You hear the reverse psychology? Paid agent. We got to be careful with this community, y'all. Hey, y'all know what will be up, you know, because I'm of the very few. And what we do over here is that we use stratagem. We bottleneck our competition because they got the masses. In order to beat these motherfuckers, you got to bottleneck them. And because we are of the minority in terms of bringing the real truth, the target on us is much more bigger in terms of what they think is an easy target. It's just a big one on us. That's it. But when they come, we're going to bottleneck them. But I had to say that because these are agents of confusion, and Saneter is paid. How in the fuck can you double talk? He's saying that now the powers that be, which they call the government, is now hiring Kanye West to rile up the black people. What? What? People wasn't even riled up in terms of what Kanye West was saying until it was a what they call that in chess, a offense, because they are the offenders. So he moved this piece on the chessboard and they moved theirs. And that's what you're witnessing. He's not paid to rile up black people, but let's listen to this agent named Saneter. I thought he was cool. Like I told him, we gonna witness this because I'm not gonna give it up. We're gonna be here for a little bit. So let us move forward.
This has been going on for years.
COINTELPRO.
Sanchez?
COINTELPRO.
Hey, Saneter,
when Khalid Muhammad and not Kanye West.
I have to say this before we do get there. These motherfuckers are watching me. They watching me. Sanchez is watching my shit. Or he got one of his handlers to watch me. Because he can play what they call plausible deniability. It's a game played in politics mostly. But plausible deniability is when you can deny it because you didn't have nothing to do with it directly. Indirectly, you did. But directly, they can't pin it on you. That way you can say, I don't know what happened. I plead a fifth. It's called plausible deniability. It's a clause. It's there. It's a back door for the high rank and file in terms of washing their hands of some dumbass shit that they done did. And now they gotta allow that to rebuild in terms of on its own recognizance. See, y'all don't know the game of politics and what it means in chess. And with that, these are true agents, man, and I'm exposing these motherfuckers. Remember, Didek is exposing who these people truly are. These are agents of confusion. I thought, like I said, I thought it was cool in terms of trying to engage with Saneter, but as time went along, I started realizing shit. I mean, you hear the talk in terms of the criticism that a lot of people have for Saneter. And I done been hearing this a lot. And like I said, it's an untold history. I want to get to that part in this next part, because once Saneter jumps off, I'm going to play Saneter's string. And as a matter of fact, we already got a consensus on what was going on in this string. So we are going to move on to the next string. So with that being said, let me share screen of when Saneter was on today and he had Brother Sanchez on his string. And when he had Brother Sanchez on the string, it was like, okay, what happened 9 days ago was incredible, because when I made the first stream, it was long. It was a 6-hour stream. And I wanted to talk about the part where I participated and I was showing the total hypocrisy and the tactics of agents and how he displays his tactics as an agent of confusion. So I was breaking that down, and I also explained it. I said Saneter came up there. It was like I don't know if he knew that I'm watching this shit and Didek is who he is, because Didek don't kiss nobody's motherfucking ass. If I see some misinformation being put out there, nigga, I'm going to criticize you. But with that being said, I'm finna move it forward where I'm at right now. Because when I come up on this panel with Saneter didn't let me, because I was having my hand up and all kind of shit, raising my hand up, trying to see if I can get in, and he wouldn't let me in, and they know who I am. But with that being said, this part right here is important, right? We get into the important part of they are in cahoots. They are agents of confusion. And what they doing, I think they fearing the truth coming out. It's a very few of us that's doing it, but I'm talking about myself. And that's almost sound arrogant. As y'all can see the title said, Come One, Come All, Questions and Answers with Bro Sanchez. That was the name of the title on Saneter Studios. With that being said, we went through the first one critically to the point where, like I said, when I first did the first two, I didn't even get to Saneter's part. And I said to myself, when I was watching that stream live, I said, damn, why would Saneter come on here to put himself in this position to talking about Kyrie Irving and Kanye West and their comments about what they think about themselves being the original Jew and everybody else being a fake Jew and blase splivy like that. And I'm saying to myself, with the Hebrew Israelites claiming this, even yesteryear, what I'm talking about like years ago, they didn't have this plight in terms of that. As a matter of fact, they will agree, these agents of confusion yesteryear, they will agree that the Hebrews, if there was a such thing that was written in the Bible, are the original black people. Rather, if Hebrew is a misnomer, the story is fantasy. If it is, they talking about black people, like how they draw Superman. If Superman was to be drawn in a black man's persona, not to say the least, he would probably look like Meteor Man. It's fucked up with the mindset, what I just gave you. But let's take away Meteor Man. Superman who looked like a black dude. We're going to say that. You understand what I'm saying? So rather fantasy, colloquial meaning, esoteric meaning, rather if all of those, your philosophy is still going to come from a culture where you come from. So when the Bible was presented as a part of culture, when they were talking about Jesus Christ, when they heard that his feet was burnt in a fire and it would look like brass, they automatically say, okay, that's a black dude. When they said that Moses' hand turned white to a leopard and he was afraid and some shit, and the story goes something like that, that means he was black. And it was talking about Ham and Shephet, even though these are fake fantasy people, the identification is still there with the culture that they know best, which is the black people. Now, you trying to take that shit away from them now. At first, you let them have that, but try to understand that this Bible is parabled up the ass, meaning that you cannot take it literally. You got to read in between the lines. You got to evaluate the book. You got to learn how to take it outside of its context to apply it. You understand what I'm saying? You got to do you got to do the 4 steps of comprehension to really take that book to apply it. But they go around here being agents of fucking confusion. And the way they use that, and the way they saying now that Kanye West and Kyrie Irving is wrong to try to identify as black folks being the original Hebrew or original Jew. Now, here goes Sanchez to saying there's no such thing. And you got Saneter sucking his dick coming up there saying that, well, the Hebrews don't understand the Bible and this and that and blase splivy woo woo, really setting it up to confuse people. And since, birds of a feather flock together, put its power in numbers, to say the least. Wonder Twins activate ass niggas. Them motherfuckers decided to go ahead and do a stream on Saneter's channel, right? I don't know if it was I didn't go through the whole entire thing yet, but I'm not going to do that. But I wonder if it was scheduled for today to come on because people do anticipate. Now, Sanchez, as an algorithm, moves. That motherfucker moves in the computer world in terms of algorithms. Now, him being who he is, a controversial figure, not a controversial, he's a condescending, fuck is at the tip of my tongue. He's a condescending contrarian. That's what the fuck he is. He's not controversial. He's a condescending contrarian. And with that, he has built an audience. And in that audience, this is where they find themselves having something in common. But let us play to the point where I'm going to tell you where I'm going to come on. I'm not going to stop it this time and give it no commentary. We're going to let it flow as it goes through. Y'all can type and say to yourselves what the fuck is really going on here in this stream, which was done today on Saneter Studios. It was titled Come One, Come All, Questions and Answers with Bro Sanchez. I'm going to pause it to let you know when I came on. The timestamp on it is at 2 hours and 4 minutes through a 3 hour and 11 minute stream. I'm not on here yet. That's the reason why I didn't play the whole thing. So I'm going to start where the point I'm at, and I'm going to tell you when I come on because I think it's going to be like a minute or so when I come on, and then I'm going to let it play straight through to the point where now I'm going to get a chance to speak. But I'm going to let y'all listen to this bullshit agent of confusing information. Please go wild in my motherfucking chat room in terms of what the fuck y'all hear at this particular moment where Saneter is supposed to have his flag planted, his feet on the square in a so-called community that gives pertinent information to people that they can apply it through their lifetime to empower themselves. Come to find out, he's fleecing. He's a hoe ass nigga. Now I'm finna tell you where the history is at before I play it. The history is at between me and Saneter goes way back, probably 2014, 15. Some shit like that. Hold on. It's 2022. No, like 2016, 16, 17. Okay, because this is how our history went back. Because Saneter always had his telephone open, right? I thought he had a terrible ass switchboard. Whoever his service that he was going through, I think he was going through a Google service. It'd be like Saneter TV. When you calling him, but it'd be a lady voice in the beginning, like, "Can you please hold on for it?" Then you hear him be like, Saneter TV. I was calling that nigga back then, nigga. 212 number. 212 number. So with that being said, following the community, I wanted to patronize. And I patronized Kings County Clothing Line, which comes out of Brooklyn, which I didn't know that they had a county in Brooklyn called Kings County, right? I just found that shit out probably like 6 months ago. But it's a county in Brooklyn called Kings County. Now, I'm thinking that these two twins, which call themselves Red and Blue Pill, right? Some of y'all may know them. Most of y'all may not. But I'm telling you who they are. Red and Blue Pill was part of Saneter's team of conscious community. And that's spelled with a I-O-U-S, nigga. That's spelled with that one. So I was digging in terms of what they had to say about comedic science because I, being a pupil or master student of the comedic science, I'm willing to learn more than what I think I know. So I'm listening to these brothers. And then it looked applicable because they were applying it because they was putting it on their clothing. Now, and not everybody is going to wear hieroglyphics on their goddamn clothes. You understand what I'm saying? That's a special kind of brand. So they were promoting themselves as clothes makers, called themselves King County Clothing, 3Ks, like KKK. Talking about they took it from the comedic science and blase splivvy woo woo and whatever the case may be, because they was making up an excuse to the reason why they can use 3Ks. That's that Mason shit. But none the motherfucking less. They had a clothing line store. So I, Didact, decided to go ahead because I was not known as Didact then. I was using my government name, Omarius Smith. I was using my government name because at the time, I'm coming in the community as me. So you're getting the raw me. It's not no character or no shit like that. So I'm coming in as raw me, as Omarius Smith, and I ordered some shit from them. And the shit came dingy as a motherfucker. I sent it back and asked for my money back. He never gave me my money back. Not only that it happened with them, but it also happened with Unc and his Nagas with a T coming out of Georgia, not Detroit. Because Detroit's is spelled with an H. I'm talking about Nagash. N-A-G-H-A-H. Not with H, not with S-T. Because the Nagast out of Georgia are fleecing motherfuckers and they are part of Saneter. Now, let's get to the crux. I got in contact with Saneter. And when I did, I told him my riff. He said that he was going to try to help me in terms of that. Never heard back from that motherfucking nigga. Never heard back from the red and blue pill until I started harassing him on Facebook. I started harassing, I think he called himself Philip Moreland, some shit like that, or Phil Moreland or some shit like that. On Facebook, I was harassing the fuck out of this nigga about my shit. And I got a couple responses up out of him. Doubting me, though. He was doubting that I ever ordered some shit on there. But this was my intimate conversation with Saneter. Now, after that, I kind of like forgive and forget. Or forgive and forgive. And what I ended up doing was trying to participate on this panel now. Right? This was at the time where it was Kemet on trial. Do y'all remember that? Big old hoopla. Kemet on trial. It was the Amin Ra squad, Ngozi, Unk, and Dr. Mayat. It was a slew. I think it was a slew of motherfuckers. And it was being sponsored and so-called represented between Polite and Saneter. And the shit went haywire. So Saneter is at a point of cleaning up. He was cleaning up. And he was opening up his lines and trying to get honest opinions about what happened and shit like that. And young Pharaoh and Sarah Sutton said he went on a motherfucking campaign and a diatribe telling them how they was fucking them over in the business, and they decided, because they was the main event, they was the main head, but it was going to be a slew of motherfuckers talking, trust me. It was going to be a slew of motherfuckers, and I think Sutek was going to host it. Because Sutek usually, at the time when Saneter had a little bit of principle about him, Suit Tech was a part of that. And I think it was handled more with integrity, whereas it was more harder for corruption. Now it's much more easier for corruption. So at this time, I think Suit Tech was going to host it. But give or take, Saneter, they bagged out of the debate because of money, because they made a shitload of money. But they was giving both Saneter and Young Pharaoh a stiff deal. They stiffed them. They did. They stiffed them. They know they did. And with that, Saneter opened up his lines, and I think this is the time that Saneter hated me or did not like me. Because I always introduce myself. I tell you what city I come from is no motherfucking secret. Because again, share history between me and Saneter. Me and Saneter was talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was saying, y'all need to go ahead and trade Giannis to New York. Y'all ain't doing nothing with Giannis. And this was almost like 3 to 4 years ago where Milwaukee was at a high level of competition, but we were still getting put out of the playoffs up to the point where we learned how to win the championship. Saneter know this nigga. He knows the conversation what me and him had. If I tell him that, that will ring a motherfucking bell because he's a sports fanatic. But during this time when Saneter was introducing this conference or debate called Kemet on Trial, it was a bunch of Hebrew Israelites disproving what Kemet is what it is. They was going to use the same ass tactics that fucking Sanchez used on about. Oh, they was promoting homosexuality. They were fags and blase split. They wore makeup, blah, 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 blah. So we already knew what it was. It was just that it was drawing attraction to people outside of who did not know what was going on that was brewing in the conscious community. All right. Now we got that clear. Saneter, like I said, Saneter and Polite was fucking them over on the money. So in a cleanup campaign effort, about to say Sanchez, Saneter was trying to go on a campaign to clean himself up. So what he was doing, he was opening up the lines to take soft criticism and questioning about what happened with the fucking cancellation of the show. I got on there. Omaria Smith from Milwaukee. I told him just like this. I said, Saneter, I think that they wanted to renegotiate their deal once they knew how much was being made. I said, it's no different from when an artist finds out that they're selling millions and millions of copies, but made a deal that will not allow them that access to that money that is being made. It will piss them off. And with their power that be, they're not in a dead heat contract, to say the least, because that's what I guess Saneter and them was trying to put their foot down in terms of contracts and breaking the motherfuckers. Because I don't know if they actually, they did say that they signed contracts. And with them contracts, they gave them a small amount. I think it was like $5,000, and they paid for their hotel. That's what I think that's what it was. And it was only 2 of them. So that's $10,000. I guess they little plane or train ticket. From my understanding, it was some rift in between that in terms of how they even got to New York. Because remember, Pharaoh was already in New York. He was in Buffalo. So he didn't try to travel. It was more Sarah Susan said he coming from Detroit. He had to travel. And I guess Saneter was supposed to cover that, but it was some phony, fucked up shit happening in terms of that. This is what I remember. And with that, all that being gathered, when I was called on Saneter's Saneter show, I brung that up in terms of when they found out that they were being stiffed in terms of the contract and versus how much was being made, they wanted to walk away from this shit. And when I said that, Saneter kind of banned me from there. He told me that no, I don't do business like that, brother. You know, he'll go into a diatribe and then he'll hang the person up. Because I wasn't the only one that he got frustrated with. But I'm just telling you my experiences that I had with him. And when the next time I came up there, we discussed the Bucks. But I brung up Harriet Tubman. When I brung up Harriet Tubman, he asked me, he said, do you got proof of that, brother? I said, yeah, the history of Philadelphia and Maryland. I can prove it in their history. And he said, no, we ain't going to have that here on my channel, brother. We not bashing our ancestors here. But we had interactions all throughout the time that I made an exception of participating in their world, found out that they were shysters, and I thought Saneter can be that buffer in between what he don't know in terms of what though he don't know won't hurt him type shit, because he don't know what Red and Blue Pill was doing with the clothing company. I would try to give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't know what was going on in between there. So he can easily say, okay, hey, Red and Blue Pill, get this nigga his money back. Why is y'all fucking motherfuckers over in y'all? I'm thinking that this nigga had that kind of checking power, but come to find out, the nigga was a part of the motherfucking bullshit. And today was living fucking proof of it. Because watch what happens. Now we finna push forward on the video. At this time, this is Saneter Studios. This is on Saneter's channel. And it's titled, Come One, Come All, Questions and Answers with Bro Sanchez. He allowed Sanchez to use his platform, whatever it took for him to do that. But he allowed Sanchez to use his platform to spew confusion to a people who I will assume know better, that so-called patronizes Saneter's channel. I will assume that these people know better. But come to fucking find out, even me, being as witty as I'm fucking am, I got fucked over by this community. And when I finally got a final contact to this Phil Moreland, which is Red Pill. I think it's Red Pill that's Phil Moreland. I don't know his other twin brother, but the Red and Blue Pill, when my last attempt of getting in contact with him, trust me, it was 2 years ago. The motherfucker asked me, did I have motherfucking Cash App? And I didn't know what the fuck that shit was. I didn't indulge in that. I'm conservative. Trust me, I'm a conservative nigga. So I wasn't even into the Cash App shit. I just told dude, keep the money, dog. Long as I know I had a dialogue with you via Messenger, because it's still on my motherfucking phone, and I can prove that I had this conversation with this nigga about this jacket that he sent to me dingy, and I sent it back and said, where the fuck is my money? Who the fuck you think I am? Fool ass motherfucker. But I consulted with Saneter, come to find out he is the same ass bitch made motherfucker in the same goddamn scheming. You scheming ass nigga, because it was scholars who was telling you that you was still an intellectual property in the beginning when you was making your DVDs. Silly ass motherfucker. But let us move forward.
I got videos about that on my channel.
I know I probably lost y'all in that rant, but let me reiterate. This is on Saneter Studios. This is titled Come One, Come All, Questions and Answers with Bro Sanchez. I'm at a point where it's 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 4 seconds into a 3-hour video. And this is at a point where I come on at. But watch the questions I ask and watch what Saneter say. Watch what Sanchez does. Watch what the panel do. Up to the point where I know that this is a agent's channel and let me get the fuck up off here. Let us move forward.
They're going to say the Emerald Tablets is pseudo, brother.
Yeah, I mean, you can say it's pseudo. You can say everybody can say like Jesus walking on water is pseudo. We can do all that, and you will be right. What I'm telling you is it's mythology, and we know mythology ain't reality. But I do think that there are some facts, knowledge, and hidden secrets of our reality behind the mythology. I believe if we start reading the Bible and decipher it, right, we'll really get the knowledge of it. It's basically what I'm trying to say. I think it's a dual language.
I got to get out of here. Thanks, Saneter. So let me ask you one more question. You said Emerald Tablets. Would Tahuti be responsible for the Emerald Tablets?
I would say Thoth, right?
What Thoth and Tahuti is the same, right?
Same, right?
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yes.
Hey, peace and blessings, man. I thank you for letting me build with you. I stand with Kyrie 100%. I just want to say that.
Okay, y'all, check this out. Now, I got to have that disclaimer up there. So y'all don't see my window. I'm on the very bottom. This is at the point where I step in at. I'm finna play it. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to let it play through to the point where I'm going to say something. And that's going to be, I've been here, Saneter, for a while. I thought I was up next to speak. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to pause it at that point to let you know the point where we're going to be meeting at. Remember, master class here for master students, triple master class for triple master students. The distance between 2 points is what? Let us move forward.
He cannot be anti-Semitic and Semitic describes Afro-Semitic people. It's just what it is. That's our history. So when
JJ, I'm glad I got you on the show because Quana didn't answer the question outright. So I know you are a real good Hebrew here. Let me ask you, where does Hebrew Israelite come from? Where do they come from?
Where do they come from?
Yeah, which one of the sons of Noah?
That would be Shem.
Oh, so Israel exists because of Shem. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's his bloodline. That would be his bloodline.
So let me ask you, if there was no Shem, would Israel exist?
If there was no Shem, Israel exists. According to the biblical narrative, no.
Say that again?
There was no Shem. I say, according to the biblical narrative, if there's no Shem in the biblical narrative, then there would be no Israel.
Thank you.
Hope I answered. All right, peace.
Peace, brother. Thanks. Now, see, that's a straightforward answer with Brother JJ. You see what I'm saying? When people duck around the question and duck and try to hide, it's because they know they done with that.
Yeah, y'all can see it. Y'all, that's me right there on the bottom left, right there. So with that being said, let us move forward.
Because once you understand that Ham, Shem, Japheth, Noah, these are all mythology. It's not real. And so once you understand that these are not real people, then we know that there's no such thing as Israel. Now, you can claim to be Israel and you can try to make it real all you want, but we know it's just you just converted to something that's made up by man. Simple as that. Ain't no God got nothing to do with none of that. Man made it up. Now, y'all can put any spin on it all you want, because if it wasn't for Shem, there'd be no Israelites. Simple as that. I rest my case. Who else want to go in on this?
I got some smoke.
You ain't got to go in on this, but who else have a question for Brother Sanchez?
No, I got some smoke for them now. I got some smoke.
I got one question, bro.
I have a question for Sanchez.
Hey, look, check this out, though. I got smoke for the Hebrews that disagree with flat earth, right? Real quick question. Y'all been asking me questions. Let me get one in. How, when it say in the Bible, when Yahweh shall return to the earth, every eye gonna see him. I want to know how every eye gonna see God in the sky on a globe. How?
To let you know, the argument is flat earth, round earth. You see how they put this biblical bullshit in it? But I'm stopping to commentate to let y'all know, to give you context on it. But y'all heard me when I said I got a question. Both me and the dude that's in the middle, we both said that we had questions. So with that being said, I don't think that Saneter heard me, but I think he heard me. But you hear this dumbass nigga telling you that because of the globe, you're not able to see certain star constellations and comets and all this shit. So let us move forward.
Every eye gonna see God in the sky. Every eye gonna see him. I want to know how every eye gonna see God in the sky on a globe. How every eye gonna see God in the sky on the globe, because depending on what side he come from on the globe, only that side will see him. Now, Saneter, share my screen one more time. I'm gonna crush the Hebrew. I might be giving them.
Share your screen. I don't see your screen. I got you. I got it.
I might be giving Gideon too much though.
Sanchez, one quick question, man.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I was gonna ask y'all one, but go ahead with yours.
Just one quick question, brother, and I'm gonna get out y'all way. Peace to the Kingmaker, Saneter.
Peace to you, brother. Back up a little bit. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You good?
Hey, my bad.
No, you good.
What I want to know is, everybody asks you all these questions, right? But nobody asks you this. What is the purpose of the lie of teaching us or telling us that the world or the earth is round if it's flat? How would they gain? What do they get to gain from telling us that it's round if it's really flat?
Okay.
All the scientists from all over the world, Egypt, China, Russia, countries that don't even deal with each other, the scientists say it's round. All right, get me.
I got you. So check this out. Share my screen, sir.
Screen share.
These are ancient maps of the earth, just for example. This map is 10 centuries ago. It showed that our earth go way further than what we think. Now, I'm going to be fair with you. Guess what? Because I'm an honest guy. Let's say the earth is...
Hey, I couldn't help myself, man. Oh, my God. I just couldn't help myself. He said this is the world map made 10 centuries ago.
There's a globe. This means that the globe earth is way more bigger than what they telling y'all then. It ain't just a flat earth conspiracy. In other words, it's a hidden land conspiracy. Now, they have something called an Antarctic Treaty. And that's all of the nations of the world, right? Let me pull this up. That's all the nations of the world working together to hide all of these. They hide in the North Pole and they hide in the outer barriers. Now, look, this is something y'all can look up. I'm not making this up. All of the nations of the world, here's what they're doing. They making circles around our 7 continents. So they got a whole military group here. You could go look up this from the UN.com and all that. Now, this is where we got to ask. If all these countries fighting each other, blowing each other to smithereens, why the hell are they working together for this shit? Now, when you look at how
That's what I want to know.
Now, look, when you look at all of these circles that they forming, now they saying we all working together because we want to protect the penguins out there and all that. That's some bullshit. They ain't protecting the animals in this world. Now, look, when you look at what flat earthers say our earth is right here, here's what I'm telling you. And you can laugh all you want. I'm telling you, they're protecting the ethers. They don't want the people to know where we are, what we are, and all that, because we will see that everything we live in is a lie. And what that'll debunk all the religions. That'll debunk everything we know about science. That'll change what we think and know about the nature of our reality, the foundation of all technology, and all this shit. It will make everybody enlightened to the secrets of those in power. Because if you know that the earth is a huge electromagnetic energy field, a torus field, an energy generator, you got to ask yourself, how did the people in power build energy systems and energy generators? They studied the earth and reverse engineered it. We're living on a patented machine. And if you want to reverse engineer technology, you got to study that technology. They've been studying the earth and us, turning it into technology. If you look at how all of these military set up, it's the same way that these torus fields are set up. I believe that it's some real life Truman Show shit. They don't want us to know the secrets of energy because then they won't have power. The secrets of nation building is the secrets of how to build an energy grid. You can't have a government without an energy grid. Everybody in the world don't know the secrets of power on a foundational level. We don't have energy plants. Only a few people, they started monopolizing that knowledge. They even killed Nikola Tesla. And they started reverse engineering his stuff. And if we go into what Tesla was into real quick, if y'all don't mind me being a little long-winded, man, I can really go deep with this thing. Because look, watch this, right? Here's what Tesla was into.
So the answer to that was power. They lying to us so they can maintain power.
Because listen, when we say why the people ain't in power, how do you obtain power? Power ain't no symbolic shit. Power is literally how do you cut your lights on? If there was a world cataclysm right now where your children be in the cold during the winter dying because the daddy don't know the secrets of how to generate energy, this is high science of how to. We paid a white man for energy when our ancestors created these systems. Look at what I'm showing. We talk about Egyptians all day and niggas wear big unks around their neck while paying a white man for energy. When the shit come from Egypt, they tell you that the Egyptians didn't have electricity. And this the secrets of how they cut them damn stones. The same way we cut stones today. The reason they act like it's a big mystery because they trying to dumb our ancestors down. They want you to think that the Egyptians was forging metals, building big ass pyramids, but didn't have electricity to have electric saws to cut stones like we do. And I'm showing you that the Ankh was an electric oscillator to generate energy. And Tesla even
This whole ass nigga is watching my shit and stealing my shit. That nigga wasn't talking about no fucking oscillator. Whole ass nigga.
reverse engineered it. That Ankh ain't just no damn pimp cane, something to look good. That's technology, brother.
Egyptians had electric saws. That's a new one.
Right, man. You want me to say something you already heard? How that's gonna benefit with you? Now listen, sir. If somebody show up and I'm saying a bunch of stuff they already heard, I wasted their time and failed them.
What material was this saw made out of? Fuck the Ankh. Let's dismiss the Ankh. What material was made What material that they use to make an electric saw? Because if you're talking about modern technology right now, dog, you are shot as a motherfucker. How do your imagination take you all the way back there saying that we had electric saws? What was the material? What was the casing around the electric saw? Did it have safety features? Okay, the most primitive electric saw, I'm using this in quotations, is the table saw. That is probably the first saw outside of the hand saw, which you can use it in your hand. You can cut 2x4s on a horse, versus where you got a table and a table saw. But the table saw came first. Trust me. With that being said, look at how that is constructed. So, did they have saws like that? What are you talking about? And you saying they were powered by this unk? So your imagination would take you to a place where they will slide this in like a key to turn on all the power that will give you all the power that you need to construct whatever you want to, considering that they had electricity back then in abundance. Let us move forward.
I'm showing it to you. I ain't just saying it. You're looking at it. The unk was high science to the unk. The word unk is to be grounded. A unk is what anchors a.
God damn it. I had myself muted. Damn it, man. But let us move fucking forward.
Ship, it grounds it. And the secrets of negative, positive energy transmission in this oscillator is the grounding point, which is what Ma'at represent with a wing spread it out. Like you know what I found out, Saneter? I'm way above niggas' head like a halo. I'm over niggas' head like a halo. Sanchez got a accept that the crazy man is all energy transmission in this oscillator is the grounding point, which is what Ma'at represent with a wing spread it out. Like you know what I found out, Saneter? I'm way above niggas' head like a halo. I'm over niggas' head like a halo.
He above niggas' head like a halo. This dumbass motherfucker, and like I said, the nigga is stealing my information. He never talked about an oscillator. He don't even know what a fucking oscillator is. But let us move forward.
Sanchez got to accept that the crazy man is always the genius, and he just ahead of everybody.
Psychology is just say you just think with a different part of your brain, brother.
Much love to that. Hey, I appreciate that. That's love, though, man. Much respect to you, my brother.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. I have a brother DJ. Where you at, DJ?
Can I just jump in and ask? I missed the part, Sanchez. Brother Sanchez, yes, I wanted to hear your breakdown on ether. I missed it, and that's the main reason you came on. So can I hear you break that down if you did not do it already?
Uh-huh. Now, I want to talk about the word ether first. I'm so glad that she asked that because I'm going to go back to this image here real quick. Hold on, because I like to share my slides with this. First of all, when I talk about Saturnalia, Saturnism, let's talk about this. Anybody who been around the conscious community a minute know that people was taught that Saturn used to be the center of our solar system. If you've been around, that's kindergarten. But they think that the planet Saturn was at the middle. And what I'm saying is that this image of Saturn is literally an ancient model of our Earth. The knowledge is about saturation of energy. Our universe is a big bang, and that's what's going on here. I know it sounds like I'm being long with it. Give me a minute. If you look at the word Saturn and rearrange the letters, you will get net.
Let me put it in context for people who don't know who that woman was that just came in. That's Saneter's wife, other wife or wives or wife, right? Considering that. She done a show with Sanchez on her show just to propagate this fucking confusion. So this is a tactic to continue to spread the confusion. And she coming up here to practice her craft like a witch to push forth the agenda of confusion. Because if you listen to Sanchez, this shit is crazy. Did that nigga say Saturnalia? What the fuck he says? What the fuck did that nigga, man? Let's move forward.
It's 7 nets. Now, it's a netting system. Now, think of a net with big holes in it and a net with small holes in it. And you got each of these nets inside of nets. Let me go ahead. When it tell you in the Bible, right? Can you pull up? Can somebody read the scripture for me while I'm screen sharing? It talk about separating the waters from the waters. You know, when it talk about separating the waters from the waters, I'm going to show you something real quick. Here it is right here. I can show you this in a scientific experiment too. I just showed it to you where they can take water balls and separate the water balls. They can levitate them. Watch this. Here go what the ethers is I'm about to give you. Watch this. I'm about to go so deep with this, y'all. So what they do, right? They take these. This ain't really the one. It's a better one than this, but these are due. But this water ball experiment, right? They take these balls of water and they separate each drip with a vibration energy field. I just put it up a minute ago. I'm trying to be quick here. But here go an example of like in the middle of that would be an energy field separating these. But if you look at this, you can see that right there. One thing I wanted to show you when they talk about the Big Bang, that's what these ethers is. Whenever some explode, it separate in layers. Let's pull up a hold on. If you look at a mushroom cloud right here, right? You see how it have all of these different rings stacked upon rings. This is a good one right here. I'm going to pull up a different bunch of them, and then I'm going to show you how this relate to the ethers some more. See, you can see it's different planes. On planes, the North said this Big Bang, this what our universe is. Now, let me pull up the Yggdrasil. Here's the Nordic conception of our universe, y'all. You see this, y'all?
Peace and love to Rashard Flat Power. I just now seen your thing. I think that you got me blocked. I never blocked you because I don't think this is, I think this is probably your first time participating on my panel. I got, several devices going off over here, and I see you in one of my devices telling me that you just came up. Unfortunately, it's not showing up on my actual channel, nor is it showing up in my StreamYard. So either you blocked yourself to the point where you're not going to show up on mine, or it's some type of malfunction going on, because I know for a fact I did not block you, because that's what Didact never does, and I don't see the point of it. But I do see the point. It's like when they trying to hit your shit with porn shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit, like we got girls over here and all that dumbass shit. Yeah, now is the time to use the discretion. It's time now to use that discretion. Other than that, I don't be timing motherfuckers out, even though I got an opposing motherfucking argument against them, because you a sponsor of Philly OG. Is being a sponsor of Philly OG to birds of a feather flock together. And with that, I didn't excommunicate you or nothing like that, but you're not showing up on my YouTube page or my StreamYard, but I see you on a separate device. I seen you when you just came in and said peace, Didac, but peace and love. But just to let you know that what's going on, but let us move forward.
Nepal, you see that? See this tree. This tree, each of these circles is a netter or a nature or a place where energy is leveling out on its own celestial plane. And if you want to compare this cosmology right here to something in nature, that's what I'm saying, the Big Bang. This is an explosion. This tree, each of these circles is.
Dog, do the top of that motherfucker say Asgard? What in the fuck is going on here? And the people are really, see, Saneter, you an agent, man. Let us move forward.
Is a netter or a nature or a place where energy is leveling out on its own celestial plane. And if you want to compare this cosmology right here to something in nature, that's what I'm saying, the Big Bang. This is an explosion. Depending on how big your explosion is, the trunk of this tree will grow higher and higher, and the planes will you will get more planes of existence leveling out on each one. So when we go to the North Pole, we're going to look at this. We're going to end up back at the trunk of a tree, and that's the tree of life. Why? Because it's growing all of the planes of life that we're living on. And it's why they call it the Big Bang theory. Everything in nature is based on this code. This can be looked at as your brain and skull on top of your neck with your shoulders, Jesus with the halo on. All of this was the secrets of it all. Everything in nature is an explosion, and there's no random shapes in nature. It's just the knowledge of the ether unfolding on a fractal code. For example, when you look at a tree outside, guess what you're looking at? A small explosion of energy, just like we see here. It's just all explosion. When we say, hey, man, you the bomb, she the bomb, that's back in our Akashic records of this knowledge of this Big Bang. So all of this stuff is how the ancestors saw our reality in this fractal code. And here go a collage here more on the Big Bang to tie the unk.
I'm just letting y'all know that bitch is watching me. Sanchez is watching me. He's watching my information. The nigga don't talk like this, man. I swear for living God, he is taking my shit. I ain't talking about the explosion shit. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the little small nuances that he said that it's explosions that take place. That shit came from me. Let us move forward.
Into it. All of this stuff is how the ancestors spawned you looking at a small nature. It's just the knowledge of the ether unfolding on a fractal code. For example, when you look at a tree outside, guess what you're looking at? A small explosion of energy, just like we see here. It's just all explosion. When we say, hey, man, you the bomb, she the bomb, that's back in our Akashic.
I brought this knowledge and wisdom and understanding on Chris Cypher's channel. And then I tried to double down and explain it on Sanchez's channel. This was before I had mine. I told them niggas about the slow-mo guys. I said, well, let's watch a scene of the slow-mo guys because we talk about the primordial waters, right? Because they always say that the same waters that's occupying the earth is the same waters that's occupying the heaven. So it's safe to say that if that is to be such, we also looking at the consistency here in terms of its density. Okay, if water in heaven is just as dense as the waters on earth, let's do this experiment. I told the motherfuckers go to slow guys, the slow-mo guys. What they were doing, they was popping a small firecracker underwater in a fish tank, and it was taking this super duper expensive camera that can catch slow-mo, that can just slow it down to like 20,000 flops or some shit and just raw. They just slow it down and you can see the actual explosion that takes place. I showed this on Chris Cypher's shit 3 years ago. I showed the shit, try to get Sanchez to pull it up. He act like he couldn't pull it up, but he could, because it was going to prove my fact that I said, what shape does that explosion take? Because it's telling you that it's taking the most efficient form of energy that it knows. So when it explodes in that water, it forms a circle, a sphere. And I'm just using circle for the elementary motherfuckers, but it forms a sphere when it explodes. Now hear this bitch ass nigga 3 years later taking my shit, you hoe ass nigga. Now I bet you that nigga is gonna take my motherfucking nucleoplasma. That is not a theory, it's a fact in application. When I was telling you about the explosions that take place in the human body, where these actual, and the nigga says chakra. Watch. I swear to living God, the nigga is watching me and biting me. The nigga took my chakra. Let's go forward.
Records of this knowledge of this Big Bang. So all of this stuff is how the ancestors saw our reality in this fractal code. And here go a collage here more on a Big Bang to tie the unk into it, as well as what the knowledge of what Tesla was getting into, which is shamanism. And before they turned this into UFO ships beaming people up and all that stuff, because that's what they corrupted it with. But you know, yeah, that I'll just end right there for now, just to kind of let everybody salute.
No, that's great. I want to ask you, so when you say, I can see that in the ankh represented, in the tree, in the mushroom cloud explosion. So what with the ether, are we embodied in it, or is it above us? What, like, give us, I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to hear from you.
Right. So the way that these ethers work, and I'm going to pull this collage up, and I'm going to pull up these so when you say chakra, when we talk about these chakras, these are basically the shocks of Ra. They are sparks of light.
That nigga took my shit. Watch. This nigga actually took my shit, dog. Let's go and review this shit. This nigga, man, I swear. Let me share screen right now, y'all. We going to my page. Because people they take this for granted in terms of what I got to offer here. The real practice, sacred geometry within the chakras. What that say? The chakra or chakra system. 8 major and 7 minor. Watch what this nigga say. He gonna say major and minor. Watch what this nigga say. That means this nigga is taking my shit. He's watching me. I'm flattered. Hold on, let me make sure I'm sharing that. Let me move this out of the way, because since it's mine, I want y'all to look at that title, the chakra, and what the motherfucker turned around and say. Go go back, watch my stream, and I'm telling you, the nigga is misappropriating my motherfucking info. He's a bitch made ass nigga. Fucking hoe ass nigga. Taking my fucking info. I feel like Sophia Stewart and motherfucking Universal Studios. Bitch ass nigga. So y'all see that, right? Let's go back and share this screen on this hoe ass nigga. Pull back. And we're going to continue to play. And I'm muting up.
Which is, there are shock. Pull this collage up, and I'm going to pull up these. So when you say chakra, when we talk about these chakras, these are basically the shocks of Ra. They are sparks of light, which is, there are 7, like we told you, 7 heavens. We are born into all the heavens. When you dream, you don't take the body that's in the bed to the dream with you. Your consciousness shifts to a whole nother body in a parallel universe. You had 7 births. So what the Mayan was into was out of body spirituality. They was trying to be able to have power to, like, we don't try to dream. We just go to sleep and we hope we dream. The Mayan and the mystery schools in Egypt, it was all about being out of body, or what they call interstellar, multidimensional, not bound to just one world. There are 7 universes, and we was born in all of them. When you're born in the center world, you're born into all of the worlds. The word center is where they get the word Santa, like Santa Claus. It represents the center. But the nature of these ethers is that when you're born into the center world, you're projected outward into all of the netters. So the Hindu even said we was born 7 times and gotta die 7 times. So blowing out those 7 candlesticks in a menorah is literally blowing out all of these auric balls that's making our collective aura. We are the god Saturn. We are Satan, the fallen angel, each human. The word devil backwards is live. And so you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, guys, but I'm just telling you how the ancestors was interpreting all of this, what all of these step pyramids was about. It was the stairway to heaven. It said that your final incarnation, and you're free from the whole matrix of the human flesh. The word flesh is a flash of light. Flesh is flash. So when you look at this thing, what I'm saying about the flesh, it's a holographic projection coming from the mind. This is what your body is. The mind ain't no physicality. The creator ain't have wood to make trees, water to make oceans. It's all a thought. And we're the living thought of God. We're made in the image of God, which is the imagination of God. If you look at what Atonism is all about, it's about the holy knowledge or the holographic knowledge. Let me pull up Pharaoh Aten again, because Aten is the root word of attention. And that's is what we're talking about with resurrection. When we see images like this, the Pharaoh wanted to achieve immortality, and this is how he achieved it, through the holy knowledge of resurrection, of holographic knowledge. And if to understand what I'm saying, the World Economic Forum is practicing this right now. This is their plan by 2045 to have us immortal into avatars, as we see here. And this ain't me. People call me crazy, but I show them what the science is doing. So you will be able to go in and out of your body, and your consciousness will be uploaded via Neuralink into a holographic avatar, and you'll walk around like Pop Smoke Tupac as a light being. This was the light bodies that resurrected Christ. When Christ said he gonna be in a robe of light that you can't get a stain on, made of light. This is this holy body, this holographic body. but that's what's the nature of our existence. So we think we're physical, but we're not. We're just a flash of light that's gonna fade in and out of this realm. The physicality is an illusion that the Mayan spoke of, and the Pharaoh obviously knew that too, because here he is showing you this same knowledge of that we're a hologram. We're basically avatar. Your body is an avatar for your soul, and you have 7 different avatars in 7 celestial planes that your consciousness is gonna shift through, just like a dream, before you can get out of this matrix. And before I move on, let me say this real quick. I'm kind of moving fast. Damn, where was I with this?
You said 7 different avatars, and while you're doing that, I don't want to throw you off, but is this something similar to what we see from like the string theory, where we're existing in different, like multiple universes, where you say is there any similarity to that?
Well, a lot of guys debate me, and they like to bring up science. Me and science are in agreement on this, that there are parallel universes. All right. So, and I think that there are 7 parallel universes. And this is how this is. Any Hebrew ever heard of the 7 deadly sins? Let's pull them up.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah.
We heard about the 7 deadly sins, but what about string theory?
Look, I'm about to go into this, brother. Let me show you how it goes together, though. Look, each of these 7 deadly sins is linked to one of these ethereal bodies. When we say emotions, we're saying energy and motion. All of your emotional states are different versions of yourself affecting this version in each universe. Each version of yourself in every universe affect every version. They're strung together. This is string theory. So the ancestors the way they would show you this is, for one way, is like, if ever you just chilling and you have a burst of joy for no reason, that can be a version of you on a parallel universe that had a good moment. Or it can happen in reverse, where you just feel bad, but ain't nothing to feel bad about. Each of these bodies are linked together. Now, each of these 7 bodies that we reading about here is literally a whole nother body, another you that lives in another universe. We were born 7 times. They said that the daddy had so many sperm cells and all of them crashed and only one of them made it to this earth. The truth is that the daddy basically gave birth to 7 versions of you, and each 7 landed in a different version of your mama in a different universe. When you dreaming, you got a whole nother birth date in history in that dream. With every dream, it's another version of you where you was growing up, and ain't nobody got to tell you who you are in the dream. It's till you wake up in the bed that you realize, oh man, I was dreaming. And in my dream, I was another version of its alternate realities.
This goes without rebuttal. This goes without critique. This goes without editing or none of that shit. They is allowing this dude to rant about shit that don't make no motherfucking sense. No one on this panel, because I didn't come on the panel to ask them this dumbass shit. They tried their best to veer it because they know Didac is on the panel. They know Didac is going to ask a direct question. I was almost caught up with it until I had to write it down. If you can notice that in my avatar, in my little square where I'm at, right, with the green flag, when you see me, I'm going back and forth because I'm writing, because I don't want to forget the original question that I need to ask this dude just to debunk his dumbass shit. But this right here came from left field because Nepal came up there to stir the pot up with more confusion. She's a witch, excuse me. She's a witch stirring up the witch's brew. So she came in and add frog legs and camel back and all kind of dumbass shit to allow this motherfucker to spew dumbass shit on a channel that I thought had more respect for his fucking self. You fucking agents of confusion, but let us move forward.
The root word of alternate is alter, and that's what the Dogon's showing us here, a Dogon alter. These are the alternative universes. That's why we call them ethers, and that's why we use the word either or, right? Do you want either this or either that? It's showing you that there are options. Like we say, we got
Dog, when I heard that shit, I said, did this nigga say ether this and ether that? Like, this is the reason why we got choices is because of the ether. He said it's ether this and ether that. I can't make this shit up. This nigga is stupid. He's ignorant. Like when they was asking Michael Jackson about bubbles, he kept telling them niggas, you ignorant. You ignorant. No, he was asking them about blanket. You ignorant. You ignorant ass piece of shit.
Options. The Mayan can use the word either or, right? Do you want either this or either that? These are the alternative universes. That's why we call them ethers, and that's why we use the word either or, right? Do you want either this or either that? It's showing you that there are options. Like we say, we got options. The Mayan can beam up out their body. The concept of beam me up, Scotty, it's astral projecting, having an out-of-body experience, a lucid dream experience into one of these other celestial bodies. Now, each of these bodies are being governed in an earth there, and it's serving a prison sentence there until it's able to master one of these 7 deadly sins. Each of these energy projections of yourself is governed by one of these 7 Roman gods. Mars, Venus, and his sloth, wrath, greed. And the Hindu said we got to rise above all of these to escape this basically Saturnian system. And what's at the end of this is this higher supreme self, this resurrected, like we become these sort of, risen higher beings or whatever. But
what the fuck he mean by whatever? You hear that shit? He know he's talking so much dumb shit and bullshit. He gotta say whatever. The fuck you mean by whatever? I told y'all before about that nigga's rhetoric, and I told y'all he be saying that shit. Most of the time after he's done ranting and raving, people don't understand when he say whatever, that means that it's whatever he say and whatever he makes up. Because that's exactly what the fuck it is, made up shit. And that's the reason why he say whatever. Let's listen to that closely, because remember here, we break shit down.
So we become these sort of, risen higher beings or whatever. But we correct it we become these sort of, risen higher beings or whatever. But we have to, so each of these are the energy and motion that govern the mind and the body. We know that we're more than our body. We're the energy that flows through our body. And when that energy leaves the body, we leave the body because we're the energy, not the body. So once we understand the energy in us, that's what I'm trying to get us on with all of this right here, because each of these chakras is something that's keeping someone bound, or what we call a demon, glutton, wrath, pride, all that. So we're in they said Saturn is a testing god that tests to test people, Satan or whatever. And this is what how this Hebraic system would have been set up. You know what I'm saying? And this is how I'm just with my research with cosmology. And let me fall back right there. Salutes to Nepal.
Yeah.
So there would be 7 universes. You say?
All right. Hey, Nepal, are you done? Or you still got more?
It's interesting when he talked about, I mean, I know that the other brother wanted to get in and ask some questions and it's not going away from the topic. So if you could just hold on 1 second.
She talking about me. She said, I know the one brother who want to get in. That was me. Because I raised my hand up like, what the hell is going on here, man? Because I thought it was questions and answers around this motherfucker. I didn't know they was allowing this dumbass nigga to go on a fucking full-blown rant about nothing. Nothingness. Those what makes monuments of excuses. Nothingness. That's what he's giving you. Nothingness. It's mountains of excuses. Because when it comes time to get your hands dirty, you don't want to take responsibility because you're being led by a dumb motherfucker. But let us move forward.
When he talks, well, when you talk about energy, Brother Sanchez, I want you to, if you could elaborate on when those energy, like when that, it's all in a frequency. Let's say.
Let me give me a motherfucking shout out to the 2 people that showed up in my motherfucking stream. Thank y'all very much for showing up. That is The Whole Truth. And also Leonard D. Yoda. If I'm saying that right, if I'm not, I'm so sorry for butchering your fucking name. Leonard D. Yoda. Yoda. Maybe I'm saying that shit wrong. I am so sorry, but I can say Leonard, though. I can say Leonard. So thank you for showing up, brother. Peace and love to everybody who's in the chat, who's showing up and who's going to show up and show out. Let us move forward.
I know we talk about energy, but I think you agree that we're talking on the level of sound and frequency, right? So so in the ether, when you're talking about that energy, because are you talking on the level of spirit when you say energy? And is it a vibration that can be manipulated? Like, can these energies actually be manipulated by the person?
Don't forget, y'all, we have our versions of dumb blondes. Black people have their versions of dumb blondes too. So with that being said, let us move forward.
Person who, possesses those, or I guess who inhabits those seven different planes, or whatever you say, 7 different levels.
So each of these netters are expressing the 360 in its own unique way. Just like every human has 2 hands, 2 legs, if you born the way nature intended, and they didn't, but it's a different way. So if here go a cymatic chart, because Nepal actually onto some deep. I didn't think she was gonna go this deep, but this is where she's gone with it. She made me pull this up. These are vibrational frequencies, and each one would be a different frequency, like 432, 436, but they all express.
We can't see, brother. We can't see your screen. You're not sharing. Oh, you're not sharing. Oh, now you are.
Yeah. So each one of these will be a different vibrational frequency that's expressing the 360 in its own way, like a snowflake. Just like each snowflake is unique, but it still look like a snowflake, like every human, like every flower. This would be how DNA expresses itself, how everything is the same and different. This is the knowledge of the paradox. You know what I'm saying? So each of these planes of existence that we see here are 360 expressing itself in its own vibrational frequency. And we exist in all of the frequencies. We exist in all of the ethers because our energy is infinite. It permeates through each of these. Our energy is light, and it permeates through each of these ethers, like I was showing with the mirror house. Think of it like this. And so we're being recreated in each of the realms from the center outward. If that makes any sense. This is the true knowledge of the Saturn system. Like they say with the planet Saturn, each ring is made out of a different frequency, like it may be a gas ring, a solid ring, and it may be going a different speed or whatever. But they're really showing you what these are. This is cymatics right here. And so when the root word of cymatics is Sam, just like the root word of simulation. You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff has a connection with each other. When they said we fell into sin, the mind literally fell into a synth, which is an avatar, a synth body.
Right.
So,
and you know, not to cut you, I want to get at this because I know you get into the ancient symbolism. That's where I think that the, you know, when Claudia was studying cymatics and doing those vibrations, do you think that the ancient, from what you showed us, the ancient symbolism comes from this, you know, using the sound, the sand to with the vibration, and then those ancient symbols like you're showing us? Is that where the ancient symbols come from, right? From the cymatics.
This is proof that our ancestors was on a very advanced level of understanding the world, and we just catching up to it for real.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. Okay, I'm sorry to the brother. You wanted to jump in. Thanks for letting me ask those questions. Thank you, Sanchez.
Yeah, real quick. See, y'all think Nepal is just a Hebrew that don't study. Nepal studies all this, y'all, for real. Nepal studies. In fact, we're going to give y'all something powerful coming up this week or weekend. So stay tuned for that with Nepal Shaddai.
Yeah, and I appreciate Brother Sanchez sitting with me. And, you know, it's really cool to get on this level because everybody, you know, like you said, the thing about people calling you crazy, everybody doesn't go this deep. So shout out to Brother Sanchez.
For sure, and y'all check out the stream I did on the pod channel too while y'all at it, matter of fact.
That's right. Y'all go check out us interviewing Brother Sanchez. We had fun though. It started to get really deep, but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing another build with you. But anyway, thank you so much. I'm gonna actually drop off and listen some more. I appreciate this information. It's awesome. It's beautiful information. We need to stay on this level, even though some people might not agree with it. Obviously, there's, you know, you can look at these, just the cymatics, you can look at the images and you can see that's ancient, right? Right, Brother Sanchez, that's ancient symbolism. It's very similar.
For sure, even when, for example, right, if you look at the core of each of these are torus fields, by the way, and these represent, like, we got 7 notes for the minor and major scale. Minor and major is heaven and hell.
Let's share screen again, y'all. Let's share screen again, nigga. What? What the fuck that nigga just say? Let's share screen again. Thank y'all for being here with me. Y'all are the best motherfucking people in a goddamn world. 11 million motherfuckers is watching me. And with that being said, let's go back. What the fuck did that nigga say? Can y'all see my screen? Can y'all see my screen? Yeah, y'all can. Let me move this because this is mine. What do I say? Major, minor? Did that? The nigga just said chakra through a whole bullshit that he just said. And then he just said major and minor, dog. Let's hear that shit again.
Hell, Eris feels by.
Of course, he got to throw some Laurie salt on it because that's who he is. No, it's Morton. He had to throw some salt on the bullshit. Nigga, it was perfectly fine when I gourmet cooked that motherfucker, nigga. Fuck you talking about? Nigga, I'm what they call that, Le Cordon Bleu, fool ass nigga. I can make a dish out of anything. Fool ass bitch. This nigga just came, stole my dish, and threw more salt in the motherfucker that is needed. Nigga, use a hoe ass nigga, dog. But let's go back to sharing the screen of this fucking video because I just wanted to show you. I just made a stream talking about the major and the minor. And I did that in the music when I was talking about the music, the Ennead with the 1E and 2E and 3E. When I was talking about that, y'all need to go ahead and catch up on that. But with that being said, let me go to share screen. All right. All right. Y'all can see it. I'm going to mute up and let's play it.
Each of these bowls got 7 tones to them. Like we got 7 notes for the minor and major scale. Minor and major is heaven and hell. Each of these bowls got 7 tones to them. And the bottom one is the minor scale. The top is the major scale or heaven, angelic scale. Down here, shit sound like Wes Craven music. Up here, shit sound like flutes and beautiful tribal shit and all. This is the nature of the vibratory universe we're in. And sound, like down here, the frequencies of hate. Like if you look at hate under a cymatic machine, let's look it up because you can do that, right? This is gonna get real deep, man. Saneter a real one for this one, and he's right though. Nepal on some deep shit. Because look, if you look at this cymatic chart, words or vibrations. Look how love look versus how I would kill you look.
Wow.
So right. That you see how it look distorted when you tell somebody I hate you, I kill. These are frequencies we giving off. So like, well, that's what these cymatics are, and that's what these universes are. And these underworlds, the frequencies are like hate, hate, jealousy, wrath, all that. And these upper worlds is love and all that stuff. But in the middle is even where we at now. This is like a ground to see where your energy gonna go out to here. Either it's gonna be more toward the hate energy, jealousy, all that, the evil shit, or the high vibrations. And that means you're gonna be on a path or dissension or ascension. They turned that to heaven and hell. But that just means you reincarnate in worser situations and way more hellish worlds, right? It's this same universe copying itself. Like when you copy a photo, the computer make it photocopy 1 or photocopy 2. It gotta alter it just slightly because there's no such thing as a direct copy. You can't, that's just don't exist. Everything is unique. But the thing is, what your computer do, it'll copy your picture and it'll alter it so small that the eye can't even detect it, that we say, well, that's just a copy. But if you try to name it the same, your computer will have problems with that. It'll want you to say part 2 or 3. That's for a reason. That's the nature of the ethers. That's how all of the integers are being born from 0. And let me pull that up real quick.
And while you get that, you know what I thought of when you said center? When you tell somebody you need to get centered, that means get balanced. So yeah, when you go back to the center, right?
Yeah, see, the center is where the real self at, the core. And the core is the cure. That's what's gonna wake us up from the week with this thing about being in a daze, hypnotized, the solar system, Saturn system. If you look at the goddess Ma'at, what she represents is that 0 point, that grounding point, that Zen point. And she represents 0 in the middle of the integer chart. So if you look at Ma'at here and you look at this here, this is what it all is. It's mathematics right here. She's the 0 point because it don't weigh.
This bitch is stealing all my shit, even though it's universal, y'all. This is universal information. I told you it's applicable for even for a whole ass nigga named Sanchez. Because remember, I told you my shit is applicable. It affords you to either take disadvantage of an opportunity or take advantage of an opportunity. It allows you to use the opportunity or misuse the opportunity. Of course, we know what category he falls under. He is a misuser. He's a disappointment. He He's just everything that is wrong with shit. And the motherfucker is literally taking the information that I'm giving out in terms of what is applicable science and twisting the shit. He don't know none of this shit. This motherfucker here, man, and he got a shitload of handlers that watch my shit because they watching it right now. Hoe ass motherfuckers, but let us move forward.
Nothing is light. Is light. Is neutral. That's what the feather is, the grounding point. And then right here is your negative, positive sun and moon. This is how we plug shit into the wall. It make the pitchfork of Satan or the electricity. Like I said, when you pull even this image up right here and you go back to that one collage I showed about the menorah, you can see it, how it all tied together with the universe, Hathor, which is the Thoris fields, the ethers, Thors, the ethors, right? The menorah. And then you go over here, boom, the integers. So it's all tying together. You know what I'm saying? To this fractal code, layering system. Energy expressing itself in different planes of existence as it mellows out. So, and like we were saying too, people don't have to agree or disagree with this. This has become my spiritual system. But like I said, I wouldn't dare try to force this on nobody else. I don't think that modern science is smarter than the ancestors. I think that modern science is waking up every day trying to reverse engineer ancient technology and act like they discovered it. But ain't nothing new under the sun. So I'm gonna end right there, guys, and you know we can take some
all right. Yeah. Let me take it to DJ. DJ, you on the call. You have a question, brother?
Yeah, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Hey, peace to the chat. What's up, Saneter?
Peace, brother.
Yeah, so to the brother Sanchez, I believe. So you believe that the earth is flat?
Yeah, man.
Yep,
I believe that the earth is flat, man. Okay, yeah.
No, I'm asking a serious question because I don't know if my question will make a lot of sense, but if the earth is flat, so does that mean that you believe that we're living on like flat plane, kind of like a disc or a frisbee?
Yeah, I definitely can rock with you on that. I think that we're walking on a circle, not a globe.
Okay, so can you explain to me the basic geosphere of the earth, as in like the
I got you. I already know where you're going.
Yeah, so since you already know where I'm going with the question, I'm pretty sure you can articulate it way better than me.
Watch
so,
this.
Yeah,
let me see if I'm right though. You trying to ask me, right, if the earth is flat, basically, if an airplane take off from where I'm at right now and it goes from east to west, it can go like it can circumnavigate the globe in a circle and end up right back where it was. And you saying that, are you going into like the circumnavigation aspect, like how a plane can make that loop and end back where it started, or am I putting words in your mouth? Is that's where we going with this?
Oh no, sir. What I was going for was that so the earth has an inner core. And anytime that you look up the inner core and you look at the images of the earth, it shows that the earth is round.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up for you.
Yeah. All you gotta do is just type in geosphere inner core or
I got
anything like that.
They'll go
shows
through
that the earth is always round. So
yeah, they're gonna pull up all the layers for you right here. Let's pull it up. Here you go, right here. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my thing with this, Now, everybody just think with your boy for 1 second, Saneter. Just think about this. Now, this the part of the earth we walk on. You got the oceans, you got the dirt and all that in this first layer. After all the dirt that we walk on, you get to this lava layer. Anybody ever saw what happened when lava contact dirt? It's a war, and somebody got to lose. And guess what? Dirt lose every time. If the core of our earth was like they saying, what's stopping all that fire from burning its way up to the surface, man, and burning all us up? This don't make no sense, y'all. It'll have to have some physical to block that. So at some point, the dirt that we walking on gonna be in contact with molten lava, and that's the point that's easy for me to debunk.
I had to pause that because I must say this. It's obvious that this motherfucker never did nothing in his life but jag off in church in front of the pastor, suck dick while he was in the military, and now he get to spew all the garbage that he needs to spew on his fucking internet. Obviously, the whole ass nigga never poured metal. Because if you ever poured metal, the mold is made out of sand. That molten steel is just as hot, if not hotter than lava. Why in the fuck it ain't melting the sand? So let's look at the perspective of what this world is, and it's real big. And let's look at the components that sand is made of in terms of what kind of molds, because you can do this simple shit in elementary. Because remember, they hate school. It's indoctrination to go to school. So in school, they had metal shops. And in metal shops, one of the prerequisites is pouring and doing a mold. Right? Well, at least I had it. I don't know if I was in advanced class. I must have been. So I don't know if this shit was available for everybody in school, but I would assume that it was, because I'm no one special. But with that being said, we poured metal inside of molds. And what we do, it was like a heavy ass sand, and we had to pack it hard, smooth it out in the mold, make sure that it's packed right, tight, and all that shit. And then you pour the hot ass fucking molten metal inside the shit. And then when it cools, it gives you your whatever the fuck that your shit is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you tooled and dyed that mold into be. But this whole ass nigga gonna make you think that dirt can't stop that molten lava or whatever image that they show, because that's a bullshit image. That's a bullshit image. And with that being said, because they don't even know how thick the crust is. Tell me how thick it is, Sanchez. Tell me the diameter of the crust of the earth. Give me the thickness of the earth's crust. Because if you're trying to explain this image, you're doing a terrible job. But let us move forward.
That's the point. The point right here. Let me zoom in on it. The point right here, where all this dirt is meeting with this lava, some gotta give. We ain't
with all this dirt meeting with this lava,
just gonna be walking on no perfectly still, immovable, peaceful ground like what we own, but it's a lake of fire beneath our feet, and it ain't burning its way up to the surface. Oh no, I ain't sold on it. This is good artwork, though. It's pretty. It's pretty.
Is it because that the earth has multiple layers?
I'm showing you the layers, and I'm showing you the two that I got a problem with. I got a problem with the dirt layer contacting the lava layer, and some should give and at some point, and we shouldn't just have a peaceful dirt ground for millions of years. The lava should have been burnt up to the surface. Or is that something that I should know that you're going to teach me right now about how these two layers should work that I don't know?
Oh no, there's nothing that I can teach you. The only thing that I know is just that the only way that the lava can get on top of the earth is that through volcanoes. That's the only way that I know so far.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, If your house was sitting on top of a lake of fire, you'll know in a few hours. Trust me, my dude. You'll know in a couple, in a just a little bit amount of time. At least if they say, well, these layers are so thick, well, then in how many years we talking until that lava burn up to the surface? Listen, I'm gonna show you how this is a lie. Don't you know that the deeper you dig, the colder it get? That's why we build pantries underground. Bro, that's why the worms go under the ground to escape the sun. What? Oh yeah, go outside during a sunny day. Put your hand on the ground and see how hot it is. Then start digging under the ground and see how cold it get the further you dig. My grandma lived next to a coal mine. And when you standing in front of that thing, it feel like an air conditioner. It gets colder the further you go underground. So how the hell they saying we living on top of a lake of fire? What they ain't telling you is that there are river systems of lava through the earth like your vein system. This is a lie what they showing here. The truth is we're on a flat earth and there are lakes of fire, not I'm gonna say rivers of fire like Styx in here. And these things like a pimple on your body, these rivers of fire. Let me see if I can find a demonstration. See if I can find. See, on a flat earth, it's called a tectonic plate, not a tectonic bowl, because the plates are flat. The thing, what I'm saying is, up under the ground are rivers like we see right here. And if you follow these rivers to their source, it'll lead you to the volcano. It will never lead you to the center of the doggone earth. That's where they lying at. Our entire earth is situated on an immovable foundations. We're not situated on a moving, fluctuating, molten lava. That don't make no sense because, like I said, at some point, the lava got to meet with the dirt. And at some time, one got to give. That war can't be fought forever, and the ground just going to keep winning.
All right, brother. We're going to move forward. Ask another question. Let me get on over to Night God. What's going on, Night God, in the building?
What's up?
Night God is better known as this dude named Bobby Knife. Bobby Knife came on after me. So now I got to speak up and tell him, no, I've been sitting here for a very long fucking time, as my people have been watching this for a very long time, to hear all that bullshit he just spewed. All that bullshit. I gave my commentary twos and fews because I didn't want to take so long allowing this shit to play because it was already long. Like the one he did for 6 hours when Saneter came on there sucking his goddamn dick and they fucking hooked up to Cohoots. This shit right here. And you know he say he hate Jews. Oh, no, I hate Jews. Let me say that again. He said that Jews don't exist. The word Jew or whatever the fuck, but the nigga got up ancient Hebrew cosmology. Yeah, I didn't play the whole entire thing that Saneter said did. It's 3 hours and 11 minutes long. Y'all can probably catch it on his channel from the point where I started it at because I didn't start it from the beginning. But you should have heard the nigga from the beginning because it was a dude who asked him the question. He said, why you down on the Jews, right? Like that, and the Hebrews. And this nigga used the Hebrew cosmology shit to lull the nigga to sleep because me and my guy was texting back and forth on the stream while I was I sitting up there? I think I was sitting. No, I don't think I was up there at the time when me and him was texting. And I said that this nigga lulled that one Hebrew brother to sleep by showing this bullshit Hebrew cosmology shit. But this is the point where I come in at and say, motherfucker, it's my turn.
What's up with it, Saneter, bro? Sanchez, man.
Daoud, whoever, you got to cut the camera on, brother.
Saneter, I don't want to be rude, but you skipped me.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Hey, Night Guard, he's right. He's right, Night Guard.
Body, brother. Partner
Go
body.
ahead, brother. You got the floor. My bad. My bad. Apologize.
Just an announcement. I can hear y'all, but I can't talk for like 1 minute. Give me 60 seconds, but I can hear though. I can hear.
When he heard that voice, he shitted in his drawers. That's why he needed the minute. Because when he heard that voice, he was like, oh my God, that's Didac right there. Yeah, now you can look at me because I know he's looking at his screen, seeing the squares that is up, showing the profiles of ourselves. Here I am, unequivocally, unsolicited, showing you who I am. He didn't know that was Didac, though. He didn't know that was me. So when he heard me, he shitted in his drawers. That's why he needed the minute. And he's so-called hearing it. But watch what takes place in the dialogue with me versus how everybody else was able to dialogue with him, especially those who are aiding and abetting him, like Nepal. Watch the interaction.
Got you. Go ahead, my brother. My bad.
Okay, yeah, let me introduce myself. My name is Brother Didac Mercury, better known as Didactagon or Automan. With that being said, this community know who I am. I'm very familiar with the community. Now, Saneter, we got some unspoken history. I don't want to get off into that, but I can't. But like I said from the before in the beginning, I didn't want to get off into it, but I did in the beginning, and I'm going to get off into it now just a tad bit. The unspoken history between me and Saneter is that I had a legit complaint. I got in contact with him through his number that he lays out sometimes that when he opens up his stream. I told him I need to talk to him privately. I said, hey, man, I'll order some shit from Unc, and I'm ordering some shit from the blue and red pill, and the shit came back all fucked up. The guy sent me the wrong goddamn shoes and the wrong size. They sent me the wrong shoes and the wrong size. That's the Nagash with a T, not the H, out of Detroit. This is the one out of Georgia that's ran by Unc and the Amiran squad. So when I complained to him, he was trying to get Unc them did give me my money back, but it wasn't timely at all. But who did not give me my money back was Red and Blue Pill. That's where I had my intimate talk with him. After that, the other intimate talk was about Giannis Antetokounmpo because he said he wanted him to come to Milwaukee, come to New York, because he's a New York Knicks fan, and he wanted because he's seen the up and coming Giannis taking shit over. Not only that, I had to talk with him about Harriet Tubman, but he didn't allow me to elaborate on Harriet Tubman and what that was all about. Y'all need to see that. I did that stream a while back, but with that being said, he didn't want me to put that on his shit because he didn't want to disrespect the ancestors and shit like that. So I got my history with Saneter, even up to the point where I disagreed with him on how they fucked over Sarat Sultan Seti and Young Pharaoh on that debate of Kemet on Trial. That was the name of the debate. And who was showcasing it was Brother Polite and Saneter. And I think that Sutek was going to go ahead and moderate the shit. But it all fell apart. The shit went out. And I even put 2 to 2 together, and Saneter was out of order. And when I said that, I think he had a thing for me because not only that my Omarius Smith account is gone, but my Brother Didac account is excommunicated off his shit. I don't know if it was somebody that follows other people who knows who I am. And when I come to panels, I come up there and I'm wrecking shit. So they probably got rid of me in terms of that. But this is the only way now that I can be known and shown on people's panels is if I participate on them because I'm excommunicated out of the chat. But this is the small, brief synapse history of me and Saneter. What I just got finished explaining, because Saneter looking up like, who in the fuck is this nigga? Because he really don't know until I jog his memory. If I wish to jog his memory at that time, he would know, oh yeah, I remember you, brother. It ain't like that. Me and him had some life, some out of body experience. No, it was it was trying to troubleshoot some bullshit business practices between Unc and Red and Blue Pill. I thought he could mediate in between that, which he did, because Unc and them returned my money just due, to say the least, but untimely. But Red and Blue Pill never turned my money in. And I was asking Saneter about the situation, and Saneter was washing his hands of it. Probable causability, being plausible deniability. He can claim that because he don't know what's going on with Red and Blue Pill with that business. To say the least, I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's the reason why he can use plausible deniability. So these are the intimate moments, and I'm using the word softly intimate. These are the moments that I had with Saneter. And those are memorable moments, at least in my head it is. But if I wish to jog his memory, and I'm hoping that if he ain't one of those human beings that, you know, that might forget this shit in the next 5 minutes, I'm not one of those. I got a memory like an elephant. If I wish to jog his memory, though, maybe he will remember who I was. But at this moment, he didn't know who the fuck I was. But Sanchez did. Watch what happens. Came here for my and said, this community know who I am. I'm very familiar with the community. Now, Saneter, we got some unspoken history. I don't want to get off into that, but I came here for my questions. He stepped away because I think he heard the voice. But when he get back up here, I want to know if it's tangible measurements of the flat earth. If there is, that means that it's a consensus on agreement on these instruments that have to be used in order to get these measurements. So when the question was asked, how far is the sun from the motherfucker earth, he said that he didn't know. That means that this shit right here is question, it's suspect. So I need him to get back up here so he can answer these questions.
Try to hold off on the profanity on this show.
Oh, I'm sorry, Saneter. Now y'all heard that, right? Because I wanted to know tangible measurements on this flat earth. I want to know what's the diameter, what's this, if it got a circumference to it. I want to know the feet, all that shit. Because if you can measure that, that means you can measure that sun, baby. Because this dumbass motherfucker tried to illustrate using this analogy. He said, no one took a tape measure up to the sun to see how far the sun is from the earth. He said a tape measure. Watch. Let's play this shit again. Let's listen tightly. Now we fit a home in. Very, very tightly. Let's home in. Yeah, it's the sun from the motherfucker. Get back up here. I want to know if it's tangible, known as Didactagon or Automan.
Got you. Go ahead, my brother. My bad.
Okay, yeah, let me introduce myself. My name is Brother Didact Mercury, better known as Didactagon or Automan. With that being said, this community know who I am. I'm very familiar with the community. Now, Saneter, we got some unspoken history. I don't want to get off into that, but I came here for my questions. He stepped away because I think he heard the voice. But when he get back up here, I want to know if it's tangible measurements of the flat earth. If there is, that means that it's a consensus on agreement on these instruments that have to be used in order to get these measurements. So when the question was asked, how far is the sun from the motherfucker earth, he said that he didn't know. That means that this shit right here is question, it's suspect. So I need him to get back up here so he can answer these questions.
Try to hold off on the profanity on this show.
Oh, I'm sorry, Saneter. Yeah.
So we're gonna we're gonna wait till he come back.
Yeah, because I think
he can hear you. He can hear you though.
I hope so, because I think this is a tactic. But with that being said, hold on, man. With that being said, he said, just to prove his point, he said no one stretched.
I got you. Let me answer him.
He just wiped himself clean because he got scared and shitted himself. He said, let me answer, because he was, because sometimes people ponder and get their best answers on the toilet. So when he was wiping his ass clean, trying to get the rest of the shit out of the system. But little that he know, he's just so full of shit. Now it's coming out of his mouth. But after wiping his ass, now he has pondered on what the question was, when given the fact that I'm in the middle of a fucking soliloquy in terms of his interruption, because if you didn't say nothing in those first 30 seconds or 30 seconds of me in the middle of a soliloquy, why would you interrupt now? Because he thought about it. Watch what he do. This nigga gonna majorly deflect. Watch what? Watch how he's deflected. Watch. Okay, go ahead.
Saneter, can I holler at you for 1 minute?
Saneter, can I holler at you for 1 minute? Dog, I asked the question. He said, can I? He interrupt me to say, let me answer the question, to deflect to Saneter. Because you know why? He got to get Saneter's consensus of appealing to authority. Remember, these are fellatio fallacies. Remember, we don't went over that. Let's go over it again. These are sucking dick, lying ass niggas. So what he did, which is a fallacy, is appeal to authority. So now he asking Saneter, which Saneter don't got shit to do with this. He's a neutral man allowing his platform so we can ask your bitch ass questions. Watch what the fuck happens.
I gotta holler at you about that.
Hold on, man. With that being said, he said, just to prove his point, he said no one stretched.
I got you. Let me answer him.
Okay, go ahead.
Saneter, can I holler at you for 1 minute? I gotta holler at you, Saneter.
Yeah, Sanchez, what's up? You want me to call you?
No, I want to ask you a question live.
Saneter thought he wanted to call him. Like, we cool as a motherfucker, dog. Like, who this nigga? Saneter, who this nigga right here, dog? That's what he's trying to do. Like, this nigga come through the door with vigor, with intelligence, with confidence, with the wit, right? And that'll scare the shit out of a nigga like Sanchez. So he goes to his bigger brother, which is his house, to say, hey, nigga, who is this nigga right here? Who is this nigga? Because he don't have the luxury of muting. So now he has to involve the person who's holding the panel, which is Saneter, bitch made ass. So since he holds the attention of Saneter, now he can manipulate on how the conversation is going to take place. Watch what happens.
Right now to prove my point. I'm gonna do a demonstration.
Okay, go ahead.
Saneter, can I holler at you for 1 minute? I gotta holler at you, Saneter.
Yeah, Sanchez, what's up? You want me to call you?
No, I want to ask you a question live right now to prove my point. I'm gonna do a demonstration. How wide is your your living room floor?
I really don't know. I ain't take the measures, bro.
now, let me ask you another question, Saneter.
Yeah.
Is it flat?
Yes, it is.
What I just proved was he don't got to know the measurements of his flow to know that it's motherfucking flat. Saneter, can I get a bomb,
That's a good
please?
one, man. That's a good one,
Can I get a bomb, please?
Y'all hear that dumbass aiding and abetting shit? Because now I know for a fact that Saneter know who I am. Not that Saneter participates on my panel, but he hears me participate on other people's panel. I think this was a tactic to smoke me out. And I tried my best not to participate on this shit because I said I don't want to go on this motherfucking show and really expose myself because that's what Saneter is best known for. He will make you expose yourself. You can use it for your advantage, or that's the word, advantage. Saneter and Sanchez take disadvantage of you. But Saneter, he's aiding and abetting what Sanchez is saying at this particular moment because he is now appealing to the masses, which is Sanchez and his people. Sanchez did not make no motherfucking valid point when he asked Saneter, what's the size of your room? And he couldn't tell you. But if he asks you, is your floor flat? And unequivocally, you can say yes. And that overweighs what's the size of your room or what's the measurements of your room. So he's trying to tell us that because you know your floor is flat, don't give two fucks about how your room is feng shui. Don't give a fuck how your rooms are measured out. So when you go get carpet, as long as the carpet is flat and your floor is flat, you straight. In his world, how in the fuck are you going to move furniture in a house that you don't know the size of the goddamn room? According to Sanchez, you can go ahead and get a whole motherfucking huge ass sectional. One of them big motherfuckers that I don't know what the name of the mother, but them big huge ass sectionals. And he'll put that shit in a little ass bitty apartment. Long as the flow flat. What the fuck are you talking about, Sanchez? We're talking about expertise that you say that you have in flat earth. So if the simple question comes to you, what are the measurements of the earth? You say a Saneter. Can I let's hear that shit again?
Tired of these niggas, man. Let me ask you another question. Are you? No, I want to ask you a question live.
He said no one stretched.
I got you. Let me.
And when I said that, I was in the middle of soliloquy, so he can cut me off because he seen where I was tying it in at. He didn't want Didact talking because Didact, my exposure is different in terms of that. In terms of how I expose people versus how people expose me, because the way I use other people to expose me to the people who are most vulnerable, who needs this teaching the most, I have to use them in that manner. This is not misuse or taking disadvantage of them. So I take advantage of this, and I'm taking advantage of this moment to show you that these motherfuckers are agents of confusion. Because I asked you the simple question, dog, how in measurement, dog, what is the flat earth in measurement? What feet, miles, inches? I have to watch and listen because I'm trying not to really reveal the movie before y'all see it in terms of that type shit. But it's hard not to. But in the middle of the commentation, I'm breaking it down in detail because this is one, like I said, we got to focus on this one. We have to draw in and focus because these are two ages of confusion and I'm exposing them as such. Now, sometimes I feel like it's working in reverse. The more I expose them, the more motherfuckers watch them. But with that being said, let us move forward.
Answer him. Let me.
With that being said, He said, just to prove his point, he said no one stretched.
I got you. Let me answer him.
Okay, go ahead.
Saneter, can I holler at you for 1 minute? I gotta holler at you, Saneter.
Yeah, Sanchez, what's up? You want me to call you?
Oh shit, I think I forgot to explain what I was saying about that. I think I did. He said to illustrate that the dude was wrong. He said that no one took a tape ruler and measured it from the sun. He said stretched it and measured it from the sun. That's what he said. No one took and stretched a tape ruler when they measured the sun. That's exactly what he said, because I'm looking right at the quote, because I wrote it down. He said no one, and I'm quoting him, quote, this was from before. I didn't play because this was in the beginning. It's quote, he said no one stretched a tape ruler from the earth to the sun to measure it, that it was 93 million miles away. This is what he said out of his mouth. So I was about to repeat what he said in terms of, if no one kind of used the tape measure to measure this, how in the fuck are we measuring the earth now? How do we know that California to New York is so many miles away? There I go again. I just told the fucking movie. God damn it. I just can't hold water, and I just told some of the movie. But let us move forward.
No, I want to ask you a question live right now to prove my point. I'm gonna do a demonstration. How wide is your your living room floor?
I really don't know. I ain't take the measures, brother.
now, let me ask you another question, Saneter.
Yeah.
Is it flat?
Yes, it is.
What I just proved was he don't got to know the measurements of his flow to know that it's motherfucking flat. Saneter, can I get a bomb?
That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
Can I get a bomb, please?
Fellatio fallacy. We learning something. Let's say that word real slow with us. It's called fellatio fallacy, and that's exactly what Saneter just did. Talking about that was a good one. God damn it, dog.
Please. I'm tired of these niggas
that's
playing
a good
games.
one there. You got me on that.
Like,
okay,
miss me with those games, bro. Miss me with them games, bro.
No, they miss you with games, because measurements are tangible. This is how we quantify things. Got him running scared, quantifying things, because this is for all you Sanchez followers. Don't he like using the word quantify? That means you actually bringing the shit into proof. It becomes tangible. You can hold it. You can feel it. You can taste it. All that good shit. It's like knowing your weight when you step on the scale. That shit right there is tangible by measurements. He don't even know how a scale works. That's number one. But number two, that measurement right there is tangible, because I guaranteed you, he can keep saying what he's saying definitively, because he's using the tools. When he said, I'm a skinny nigga, I don't weigh that much, I'm like 120 pounds or something, that's little in the motherfucker. But he'll say some shit like that, I'm 119 pounds or some bullshit like that. But given that, how do you know that without using the tool of measurements? So he goes Saneter sucking his dick, telling him that was a good one because you know that your floor is flat. You taking common knowledge to apply to a scientific fucking explanation. The floor flat. Hey, how many walls do you got? The floor flat. Hey, how's your door shape, your corridor shape? The floor is flat. That's the answer to the shit. Let us move forward. Man, hold on. Let me ask you something. I'm not going. Man levels. They level the playing land. They do that. Earth moving equipment. The reason why Saneter can unequivocally say that is floor is flat is because some people measure that out to be such. But little that you know, he probably on unstable ground. Hold on, brother, because the question is asked.
Hold on, brother. You gotta be respectful. This is show now.
The fuck is you talking about? He's geeking himself up now. I gotta be respectful. What the fuck is you talking about? Let's listen to that again. Because I got frustrated. You heard me, I was stuttering. I got so frustrated with that shit, dog. Like, dog, you got totally around the question by putting Saneter in it to lie and suck your dick. That is what fellatio is, sucking dick, and fallacies are a lie. Let's listen to that shit again. I understand that. I'm not going.
Can I get a bomb, please?
Can I get a bomb, please?
Let me ask you another question.
Are you?
No, I want to ask you a question live right now to prove my point. I'm gonna do a demonstration. How wide is your your living room floor?
I really don't know. I ain't take the measures, bro.
Now, let me ask you another question, Saneter.
Yeah.
Is it flat?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So he just appealed to your ignorance, didn't he? Fallacies, appealing to authority, appealing to the masses. Fallacies, lies. Why would you say you don't know versus I can find out versus that you don't know? Because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why. If that was the question, unequivocally, if that was the question, saying, how wide is your living room? You're going to probably say initially, because you's a dumb fuck, you're an aged bitch ass nigga, but you's a dumb fuck. You will unequivocally say, I don't know. But if that is the bottom line question, you would say, let me figure it out. How wide is my motherfucking thing? Because you'll say, hey, honey, do I got any tape measures around here? Because most niggas got a tape measure and they use that for measuring. But if you are an advanced craftsman, to say the least, you'll get a laser ruler that measure it with a laser beam. And with that being said, you will measure your room to find out how wide it was if that was the bottom baseline. Now, the question is your floor flat? Considering some people's houses, their floor is bumpy. They got waves in their floor. So does that apply to everybody in terms of what you was trying to set up Saneter to get you up out of the question, what are the measurements of the flat earth? Let us move forward.
Yes, it is.
What I just proved was he don't got to know the measurements of his flow to know that it's motherfucking flat. Saneter, can I get a bomb?
That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
How the fuck is that good? You devil ass niggas. So I guess that is good in y'all world. That's good in y'all world. But in the real world, it's not. It's not good in the real world.
Can I get a bomb, please? I'm tired of these niggas.
That's a good one there. You got me on that.
Okay,
miss me with those games, bro. Miss me with them games, bro.
No, they miss you with games because measurements are tangible. This is how we quantify things. Hold on. Let me ask you something. Man levels. They level the playing land. They do that. Earth moving equipment. What I was trying to say is that man always levels the field. That's what I was trying to say. But I was saying playing lands, and because I was frustrated with the bullshit that just pulled, telling him to drop bombs and all that dumbass shit when I come up there with a tangible question of asking him, what are the measurements of the flat fucking earth? Just a simple goddamn question, dog. Because if you got a map, you better have measurements. Because how in the fuck can you create a map without measurements? And that's the first thing he always throw up. And I was so frustrated that should have been a simple elementary rebuttal that I should have thrown at this bullshit. Is that how in the fuck can you show maps? And maps are measurements. In order for you to create a map, you gotta have measurements. No one was guessing. According to him, this is sacred geometry. According to him, geometry requires measurements. You dumbass motherfucker. These are the ancestors. According to him, they had it right. They had it better than what we did in today's society in 2022. That means that they had measurements. How in the fuck y'all don't got none? Where in the fuck is y'all measurements at, bitch? The reason why Saneter can unequivocally say that is forest flat is because some people measure that out to be such. But little that you know, he probably on unstable ground. Hold on, brother, because the question is asked.
Hold on, brother. You gotta be respectful. This is his show now.
I understand that.
We want to try to keep you here.
Okay, I understand that. Right, yeah. We want to try to keep you here. Why? Because you ready to kick me off, you bitch made ass nigga? Because he ready to kick me off. That's why. Because he know who I am. Now it's probably ringing a bell with this dude. Oh, this the nigga that I be hearing on other people's panels that got the real live shit that put niggas in conundrums like I did Suave Boss Guy when he said a fucking solar flare from the sun was a spaceship taking off. I said, dog, don't you think you don't think that's a solar flare that they took? Because he's like, look, y'all, it's taking off from the sun. I said, you don't think that was a solar flare? Because that's what it was. It was a solar flare. He was like, man, who the fuck is you? I said, oh, I'm thinking he was a flat earther. And I was on, it was a derivative of Solar Vision Debate League. It was a derivative and it was called the Argument League, meaning that they opened up that panel on Argument League to allow a novice such as myself to come in, give my opinion. If it sounds good, okay, he sounds like he know his shit and he can give stiff arguments, good debates in terms of information is concerned. Now, when I first went up there, that's what I gave and fucked him up. And then the backstory on me is that this dude named DJ Churn, he said that, oh yeah, I remember Didac, he came from Huey's channel. And then that's when Suave Boss went, oh, hell no, he coming from Huey channel. Little that you fucking know, you dumb motherfucker. Huey, in terms of breaking down spell words, is pretty good to borderline brilliant. And with that being said, he talks in a level of what they call pridacy frequency that is unknown. I'm going to say that again. He speaks in pridacy frequency that is unknown, which is P-Funk. And when he does that, it's a lot of spells. You have to understand, it's a derivative of what George Clinton used to do and Bootsy Collins used to do with the Funkadelics and P-Funk. And he does the same thing, but in a modern way, to say the least. But them telling them that I came from his channel trying to degrade me, little that you know, nigga, I'm a lone wolf in this shit. Fool ass motherfucker, because when Huey introduced me to his channel, I chewed Huey ass out for trying to side with the bullshit because he was trying to appeal to the masses. I'm a lone wolf in this. But considering that this is a soft introduction off into their world in terms of debate, but here's this whole ass shit that's taking place on this panel where it's a bigger stage in terms of that. And he telling me Don't let me kick you off. Fuck you mean, you hoe ass niggas. Why do y'all always kick logic off? Anytime y'all get questioned with some real shit, because y'all want to propagate some dumbass shit, because it's not universally applicable. I can poke cultural holes in your shit, you hoe ass nigga. Why do y'all always threaten to kick a nigga off? Why? I know. But out to be such. But little that you know, he probably on unstable ground. Hold on, brother, because the question is asked.
Hold on, brother. You gotta be respectful. This is show now.
I understand that.
We want to try to keep you here.
Okay, I understand that. Right? Yeah, I know. But when I was saying I know, I was saying to myself, these niggas want to kick me off bad. God damn, dog. It's like if there was a such thing as walking a plank, right? And they feel like they destroyed their competition by making them walk the plank. Their planks be real big. Why do they narrow my shit to a 2x4? These motherfuckers be on straight up planks like fucking almost 3 feet in width. You understand what I'm saying? And they give me a motherfucking 2x4 to walk. What the fucking shit? This shit is so unfair, you wicked ass niggas, but let us move forward. But with that being said, the question is, what are the measurements for flat Earth? Because we have it for round Earth using universal matrix systems that we account for inches, feet, miles, meters, yards, those things of that nature. Because you said no man took a tape ruler and went up to the earth. No man took a tape ruler and a measure from California to New York, but we all know it's more than 2,500 miles away.
None of that matters, brother.
Or at least that.
None of this.
None of that matters. What the fuck? None of that matters. Your travel, the what the fuck they call that on the dashboard? I know it's a spirometer on there. I know that, but the one that tells the miles per hour. What monitor is that? I forgot what monitor is that, but excuse me, the one that tells you how many miles you have traveled. Fuck that instrument in your car. And that'd be one of the most important instruments in your car to tell you your history of your car. And sometimes not sometimes, all the time, it affects the value of your car when you finding yourself trying to resell it. Hey, according to Sanchez, that shit don't mean nothing, dog. That shit means nothing. Let's listen to it again.
This matters, though.
You said no man took a tape ruler and went up to the earth. No man took a tape ruler and a measure from California. It wasn't up to the earth. It was up to the sun from the earth. Because I was so frustrated in trying to get this shit out before they cut me out. I'm speaking and tripping over my own shit, trying to get the shit out fast. I'm sorry. But now that I got time to settle in on it and zero in on it, this is what we're witnessing right now. So let us move forward. To New York, but we all know using universal matrix systems that we account for inches. Using universal matrix systems. How we account for inches, meters, and all that good shit. That's universal applicable, dog. You can't get around it. So you need to measure your flat earth. You got to tell me how big is a flat earth. That's what I'm asking. How big is it? In measurements, give me measurements. It's 15,000 feet thick. It's 100 million feet in radius or miles in radius. You know, everything is with the mile because it's so goddamn big. So it's 50,000 miles in radius. It's 50,000 miles thick or some shit like that, because we know that we can dig into the motherfucker and not fall through. I guess we haven't got that far yet, that when we dig going down, because remember I gave that illustration, we will dig down so far that we'll come from underneath that other part. So I don't think we got that far, but considering we have to know how many miles, you use the same instruments to try to debunk, because here's the saying, they only got 3 miles down. They haven't even reached the core yet. How do you know they went 3 miles down if you don't use the same measurements to measure your flat earth with? Oh, it's a conspiracy theory, blah, 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 skippy woo woo. But let us move forward. Feet, miles, meters, yards, those things of that nature. Because you said no man took a tape ruler and went up to the earth. No man took a tape ruler and a measure from California to New York. But we all know it's more than 2,500 miles away.
None of that matters, brother.
Or at least that.
None of this matters, though, bro.
It sure does, because when you explain your flat earth,
I just proved what my demonstration.
No, you didn't prove nothing. You just gave it.
Brother, hold on. You gotta let him speak. This
fuck is you talking about, Saneter, you bitch made ass nigga? Now all of a sudden it's veering off the rails. Now all of a sudden I took you off the rails and you just got finished talking about some other bullshit using my information, as a matter of fact, but off the whole fucking ringer about some either is ether. What he say? Either means either and ether. He says something about Saturnalia is the ether fields. Some bullshit he was saying, and he was off the fuck. And the bitch allowed, that was Saneter's wife, but the bitch allowed him to veer the whole fuck. And now all of a sudden I make you focus back on what you need to explain about this flat earth, because you can go off in your fucking dogmatic ass religious zealot bullshit on how you explain it. The Hebrew cosmology. You can go, nigga, how big is it? I need feet. I need inches. I need to know what we looking at here. Can you measure the flat earth? Because we measured the fucking sphere. Can you measure flat earth, dog? You hoe ass nigga. And he goes Saneter, bitch ass nigga. Dog's a bitch.
It's his show.
Because when you
I just proved what my demonstration.
No, you didn't prove nothing. You just.
None of this matters, though, bro.
It sure does, because when you
I just proved what my demonstration.
No, you didn't prove nothing. You just gave it.
Brother, hold on. You gotta let him speak. This is show. Go ahead, Sanchez.
Yeah, what I proved was that you don't have to know all these crazy numbers and shit to know that your shit is flat, brother.
And you see Bobby Knife, that's the dude in the middle, on the bottom, blowing the smoke out. You see him shaking his head, yes, that you don't need these measurements to know you're on a flat earth. That's what he said. At least I know it's flat, boss. How big is your room in your house? I don't know, but the floor flat. Okay, how big is the property that you need to build your house on? I don't know, but it's flat, sir. I don't need no measurements, sir. It doesn't matter. It's just as long as it's flat. As long as it's flat. Okay. That's your logic, dog. That's agents of fucking confusion, dude. You spewing confusion, man. So if I'm an architect or a construction company, and I come to anybody that follows Sanchez, such as this Bobby Knife ass nigga who's shaking his head like a fucking Sambo. He's shaking his head, yes, like a fucking Sambo. If I ask y'all dumbass fucking dumb niggas, how big your house, how big do you want your house? You be like, I don't care as long as it's flat. As long as it's flat. Measurements don't matter as long as you know it's flat. That is his logic, dog. Meaning this, sometimes shit may be in the way. Meaning that you got to get bulldozers now. Now shit ain't flat now. Shit is not even flat now. Now that you got to get bulldozers to move the earth around. Why the fuck did they even make a leveler if the earth is flat? Why would we need a leveler? Why we need a plumb line if the earth is fucking flat? Sanchez, man seeks the flat, level, plane. That's what I was trying to say when I was fucking stuttering and all that shit. But man seeks this unequivocally. I can understand where your emotions and your excitement is coming from, but it's misplaced. Because as a human being, we are searching for a level. But the earth is not even remotely that, but we will terraform the motherfucker as to be such. But on a bigger scale and bigger picture, because we are so small compared to this motherfucker, I wanted to also do that, show a comparison from a man to a big ass 747 jumbo jet to the planet. Whether if you want to think it's flat or not. Dog, you know how minuscule you are to this motherfucker? So how in the fuck you not going to even remotely see the goddamn curvature? Your viewpoint is so minuscule to the goddamn planet. You are stupid. And that's the reason why they try to use these bullshit arguments in terms of what your senses is not telling you all the way, because here your sense, the floor is flat. But if I need to lay carpet in your fucking house, if I need to lay towel in your house, I know the first thing, the most stupidest remedial shit is to know that your floor is flat. But now I got to lay tile in your house. Now you have to explain to us what makes the flat earth. We already figured it out. Okay, it's flat. Now we got past that. How big is it, dog? Shit. All of this I should have had the room to have this conversation with this dude in terms of that. But Saneter is making it just that much more harder by sucking Sanchez dick to let me know that, oh, this is his show. You better be careful or you're going to get booted out of here. We don't want to boot you out.
I don't know the direct measurements of this desk I'm sitting at, but I know the surface of it flat, because if it was wooden, I would ship it back and tell them they sent me an unleveled desk.
That's not answering the question.
But I know the surface of it flat, because if it was wooden, I would ship it back and tell them they sent me an unleveled desk.
I hope Bobby is listening to music, because now I think he's bobbing his head, because it almost looked like he was agreeing with Sanchez. So I'm going to give you this excuse for now that I think you're bobbing your head, but it's not at a good time, because this nigga is spewing some of the most outlandish shit, talking about now his table is flat. Let's move forward. That's not answering the question. The question,
bro, I just answered. I'm not going to answer.
No. Okay, you said that. Okay, you don't have to answer.
I'm gonna end with this. I'm gonna end with this. When you say I'm not answering the question, the same way Saneter didn't answer the question when I asked.
Okay,
well, wait. The same way Saneter didn't answer the question when I asked him how wide is his living room, because that's irrelevant. He still knows it's flat.
Not irrelevant.
So wait a minute. You think I'm gonna argue with Saneter that his living room
he
don't know the measurement? Because he don't know the measurement.
If you were giving critique to Saneter's living room, telling him, and what I mean by critique to his living room is telling him, you need to move this around, feng shui it and shit, critique it like, hey, dog, you should put carpet down, get rid of the. If you wish to critique his shit, you're going to have to know how big his room is. You ain't going to worry about the floor is flat or not, dog. What the fuck is this nigga talking about? Even the floor being flat, it can still be unlevel. You stupid dumbass nigga. But let us move forward. Him, he got to move his house around and feng shui it.
He still know
it's not irrelevant.
So wait a minute. You think I'm gonna argue with Saneter that his living room?
If you
don't know the measurement, because he don't know the measurement.
If you were giving critique to Saneter's living room, telling him he got to move his house around and feng shui it, you would need to know the measurements of his house so you know what can go where. In ancient geometry, you have to know your measurements.
That's irrelevant.
That's not irrelevant. No, hold on. You know what was irrelevant? That was irrelevant. But what's not irrelevant, I'm asking you a tangible question. Does the flat earth community have measurements for the flat earth? If so, that means let
me ask you something real quick. How far away is the sun from the earth on the globe? 93 million miles away, right? I'm asking you a question. So now you can't answer my question.
No, you know it better than I do.
Hey, man, come on, dog.
It's 92. It's 92 point something miles away. It's 92.
Now watch this, y'all. Now mute him up and let me make my point. So
I'm up, dog. Yeah, I'm up.
I just want to say.
At that moment, I left because he already had Saneter greased up like a pig to get ready to cut me off, because Saneter already showed his allegiance by warning me, saying, hey, this is Sanchez thing, you don't want to get kicked off. So for him to say Saneter mute him, it would have been nothing to Saneter to go ahead and disrespect the logical question that was at hand. It got changed, and he couldn't change it into some religious shit. He couldn't do that because it was not a religious question. It was a tangible question. That nigga tried his best to get up out of it by involving Saneter, by asking Saneter, what's the measurement of your room? Here goes Saneter, being the stupid, dumb motherfucker that he is. I don't know. Hey, I'm finna ask you this other question. Saneter, is your flow flat? He said, yup, my flow flat. See, you don't need to know the measurements of the room to know that the floor is flat. No, that's rudimentary. It's rudimentary. That's the reason why it's as simple. You don't have to know that the sign on the door says toilet for you to use one. It's rudimentary to use the toilet. It's just like in drumline, how that dumbass nigga was out on the field beating his drum. He just remembered the patterns. So he was able to follow the rhythmic pattern of playing the drum. But outside of that, he didn't even know his art. He didn't even know his craft. Remember the dude that told him that was promoting dumbness by telling him most people cannot, I'm quoting him in the movie Drumline. Remember the fat dude? He used to do Tom Joyner in the morning, the dark-skinned fat dude, but he played in Drumline. He was the conductor for Morris Brown College, right? And the dude Orlando Jones was the one for A&T, Atlanta A&T. But anyway, remember what's his name character? Nick Cannon. He was being kicked off because he didn't know how to read music. And he went to the other dude. The other dude is promoting dumbness. He said, hey, man, because you can't read the sign on the door that says toilet mean that you can't use one. You rudimentarily ass nigga. So when he asks Saneter, hey, Saneter, is the floor flat? He gonna say, yeah, that's rudimentarily. That means that he don't give a fuck if that sign says toilet, long as he know that the floor is flat. He don't give a fuck how big his room is. He don't give a fuck how much he can fit in his room, what he can do to his room, as long as the floor is flat. As long as that dumbass nigga can be on the goddamn field beating his goddamn drum, he don't give two fucks who wrote the fucking music. And he don't give two fucks on how to write music. Long as he can beat his fucking drum. And that's exactly what these niggas doing, is beating a fucking drum. That's the reason why I stepped the fuck off. Because when he said Saneter, mute him, I knew then. I said, these niggas cornered. Hoe ass niggas, y'all some fucking agents of confusion. I asked a simple question. It got turned into this bullshit. The simple question was this, and to all the people that were listening, that is listening, right? To all the people that is listening, that's going to be listening, right? I want y'all to understand this. The question I asked was simple. How big is the flat earth? You got all these dumbass niggas who's holding Sanchez dick, shaking their head, yeah, like he was able to skate out of that answer. Y'all should know this. Because if you ask the globalists all the measurements that y'all need to know in terms of what you think is debunking it, you say, how is the sun 93 million miles away when it's in our Earth's atmosphere? Okay, if y'all know that it's not in the Earth's atmosphere, then how far it is from the Earth, and we don't need no approximates. That's when you're going to have to resort to the same instruments. Watch what he does. I'm going to play it forward because he's going to use NASA and Google on me. Right? He's going to use that on me. Watch. To try to cover up his tracks in terms of the question at hand. He has to fuck the people's head up because given the benefit of the doubt, now this time the crowd is not as vulnerable as they were if they come to Sanchez, but coming to find out, I think they are now. But I'm still going to give the benefit of the doubt to the people who goes to Saneter TV to go watch his shit. They know a little bit better. So I think that some of the people was understanding what I was trying to convey when asking that question, how big is the earth on the flat earth? How big is the motherfucker? But because they can't answer because there's no answer to it because it's not real. How the fuck are you showing all these goddamn maps, nigga? And maps are measurements. How far did somebody use their imagination, dog? Hold on, man. Let me play this and let's see what the fuck they say because he's going to try to do his best to clean this shit up.
This because I don't want to interrupt it. Here go my point with this right here. He just told me how far away the sun is because he heard it from NASA.
I heard it from NASA, and these measurements came long before NASA. I heard it from NASA. What if I told him I heard it from the Dogon tribe, that the sun was 93 million miles away because that's where the shit came from? What if I told you that the Egyptians had measurements from how far the sun was? Long before NASA, this motherfucker tried to do his due diligence and his best to put me in a crowd where they have the most resentment for is NASA. He said, I'm getting my information from them. Wow. This is how I know that the sun is 93 million miles away is because of NASA. Because of NASA, dog.
You can Google it because I don't want to interrupt it. Here go my point with this right here. He just told me how far away the sun is because he heard it from NASA. You can Google it right now. Niggas like to talk to me about Googling, but my conclusions and my answers don't come from Google. My references do. For example, share my stream again, Saneter. Let me show these goofballs something real quick. Just told me how far away the sun is because he heard it from NASA. You can Google it right now. Niggas like for my point with this right here. He just told me how far away the sun is because he heard it from NASA. You can Google it right now. Niggas like to talk to me about Googling, but my conclusions and my answers don't come from Google. My references do. For example, share my stream again.
He said his answers and his conclusions don't come from Google. His references does. That means he draws to his own conclusion. It's called interpolation of interpretation. Interpolation is taking the story as it was written and twisting that shit and turning it into your own personal shit. Interpretation is taking the story and just saying it all wrong. So he's interpolating his interpretation. How in the fuck you say you get your references from Google, but that don't draw your conclusion? Then why get your references from Google if it doesn't draw to your conclusion? What do you think references are? See, he's talking to a dumb crowd. He's talking to a dumb people who don't know how books are written without plagiarizing information. Because if you don't want to plagiarize the information, you got to give where the source comes from in terms of where you get your information from, how you come into your conclusion. So how in the fuck that your Google images don't come to your conclusion and what you trying to say at the end versus what you, nigga, it's your everything, dog. You don't peel open no book. Google is your everything. You don't get out your house to cross-reference absolutely nothing to landmarks. Google is your everything, dog.
Again, Saneter, let me show these goofballs something real quick. Conclusions and my answers don't come from Google. My references do. For example, share my stream again, Saneter. Let me show these goofballs something real quick. If I use Google to pull up an ancient Hebrew conception of the universe, it's because I don't want to save this file on my computer. Now, look, if I wanted to share the file directly from my computer in a PowerPoint, it don't change the fact that I put the.
And you see the image that he has up. It says ancient Hebrew conception of the universe. And he just went on a whole fucking 2-week diatribe because not only that Kanye West was saying it, but now Kyrie Irving has joined in and said that the original Hebrews are black and they are Jewish people. But he's doubling down, I'm talking about Sanchez. Sanchez is doubling down on the fact that they spreading lies. They are anti-Semitic. Whatever they get, they deserve. Fuck them hoe ass niggas. They ain't standing for nothing. Blase splivy woo woo. He's saying all this shit, but yet you just pulled up cosmology that you say is pertinent to our way of living from the Hebrews, dog. How the fuck can you say that this is what it is versus anything else that's coming from them? You can't do that. You can't disqualify what you qualified out of the same pool of information or out of the same culture. You can't disqualify what comes up out of that because it's coming up out of there. You can't disqualify it, but you try to quantify or qualify their cosmology because it fits your narrative as flat earth. But when they say that they are the original Jews of the world, now it doesn't fit. That don't fit. Jew is fake. Jew is fake now, and that is a derivative from the Hebrew. That's a derivative from Hebrew. But now it's fake because you want to join in on this wave of confusion to be an agent, and you're jumping on the bandwagon of the Kyrie Irving shit. And now that you think you have your momentum, and Saneter opened up his panel to ask questions, you thought I was going to get off into some religious shit because this is exactly what you just did. You went straight into some religious shit. You try to tell me that first you try to debunk the information by saying, oh, he got the shit from NASA. He's Googling the shit. And then he said, my Googles don't tell the conclusion of my story. It only gives the reference. And then he went straight to religion. He went to a fucking image of religion. He took a simple question that anybody can take, tangible instruments, such as a laser motherfucking ruler, to find out how far, or even one that, I mean, it would take a lot of leg work, but it's the portable one. It's like a wheel that goes on the ground. You ever somebody help me here with this one. It's almost shaped like one of those tools that you pick up garbage with, right? It's a little bit longer though, and they got a wheel on the bottom. But on top of it, it's like a meter that'll tell you how far you have gone in terms of feet. You can use that to measure wherever the fuck you go. You're just going to have to use leg power. Or you can use your spermometer. I'm saying that fucking name wrong, but the thing on your car to measure how far you go. But your car measurement is a much higher threshold versus what you need to specifically aim on, right? Because one of the other the tool that I was talking about in the beginning, that long tool that looked like a garbage picker, like you pick up garbage with, that can measure to the feet to the mile, versus the car is strictly about a mile. Or is it the quarter mile to the mile? I think it's just strictly about a mile. So you will have to travel some distance before that motherfucker get to flipping to give you an actual measurement to tell you how far you have gone. Versus the one that you can put to the ground, a little wheel, and push it and shit like that, where you're going to have to lose leg power. Or you can get fancy and go buy your motherfucking laser ruler. But these are instruments that you can use unequivocally to measure shit with. So since we have came a long way from the time that you saying that y'all had the master science, because if y'all had the master science, tell me how far, tell me how far the sun is from the earth. Tell me how far the moon is from the earth, whether it's holographic or fucking not. Tell me how big is the fucking flat earth, you dumb motherfuckers. Tell me how big is it? But you couldn't tell me. You said, hey, Saneter, if I ask you how big your room is, you would tell me you don't know. But if I tell you if your floor flat, which is leading the fucking witness, you dumbass motherfucker, because you didn't ask him, what is your floor? Because he wouldn't have understood that, because he was like, oh, what you mean by that? Put it in context. Meaning, what is my floor? What color is it? Do I have carpet on the floor? No, you let him like a fucking witness would on a bench, because y'all police ass niggas. You let him. Talking about, if I ask you if your floor was flat, what the fuck you mean? Versus how big your room is. Put that in context. Leave that question to stand alone. To ask him, hey, how big is your room? Oh, I don't know. Why you need, because he would ask after that, what, you need to know how big my room is? Yeah, I need to know how big your room is. Because that would determine what you can fit in your space. Remember, we in space, right? And we need to know how much we can fit in that space. That's done by measurements, you dumb, silly, dumbass nigga. So when you ask that question to Saneter, he was rudimentary in answering it because he's a stupid, dumbass, agent ass bitch. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how big my room is, but I know my floor is flat. Who in the fuck is asking you about your floor? I'm asking you the size of the floor. What's the size of the floor, sir? Not if the floor is flat. You already established that. That is already done and over with. That's rudimentary. We know that the floor is flat, but how big is it now? How big is it, dog? Oh, yeah, you do have to know how big it is to know that unequivocally it's flat. To solidify, to concrete, to quantify that it is flat, you got to know how big it is. And don't give me no maps that you don't know the measurements to, because the people who made those maps. And that nigga showed a map saying that it was 10,000 years old on a newspaper that was probably printed in the 60s. A newspaper that was printed in the 60s, he's using that to say that that map was 10,000 years old. Wow. And people bought that shit. I'm at a point of exhaustion, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2:48 Central Time, Milwaukee time, and I'm so glad that y'all showed up and showed out. For the 11 million people that showed up, I think my numbers was going up. I think I flirted with 18 million, some shit like that, 19 million, something like that. I was flirting with it. But I appreciate all y'all. I swear to God I do. Leonard D. Yoda, I'm probably saying, dude, I'm probably butchering your name. I'm sorry. But he was going in on the motherfucking chat room. But with that being said, I would love to run through my chat again. You understand me? And thank the people who showed up and showed out. Mental Ninja, Mind's Eye. You understand? Weezy 365, Roderick Jakes, Leonardo. I said Leonardo. You got that name so close to that whole ass nigga. I put an O at the end, but Leonard. I'm just gonna call you Leo, can I? Yeah, I'm just gonna call you Leo. As I'm saying, D Yoda. Shit, I'm terrible. The Whole Truth. Thank you for showing up. Star Energy. Thank you for showing up. Bedell Bamford. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, thank everybody for showing up. Thank y'all for showing out. But yeah, I'm at a point of exhaustion. But this point, it gets redundant because it's all the same thing. But considering we got to stay diligent on how they move. Because what I mean by redundant, they'll repeat the same shit over and over again when they're trying to debunk you. You see how he threw NASA up in there and Google. That'd be their specialty. Oh, you Googling shit. Oh, shit, nigga, you believe in NASA when you just proving they ass wrong on shit. So that's what I mean by that. But we have to do our due diligence and keeping our ear to the ground and watching how these niggas move. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my due diligence and seeing how these rat ass niggas move, because it be the people who are trying to wake up to new shit. And I do not like a few people that have said it. I know I'm not the only one. And I know I'm not taking this motherfucking computer shit for granted, the internet for granted, And I know a few people who have stressed the importance of this internet. And with that, you have people using this to communicate otherwise. And it's a strong tool of communication. And with that, people are looking for answers to questions that they may have, unlike what they probably didn't have the discipline to sit down and learn, because coming from a culturally biased learning system will put that strain on a student versus how they will learn. So most of our people find themselves kind of dropping out, and they still trying to search for questions, answers for their questions. And they end up bumping into Saneters. They end up bumping into red and blue pills, Sanchez's, Sister Bethy's. They end up bumping into motherfuckers like that, Black Aboriginal Powers and shit like that. Reluctantly, they might bump into a Didac, or to say the least, a Lex Vortex, smaller channels like Coppertone. He changed his damn name so goddamn much. It's Latrell Tinwell now. But with that being said, it's the smaller of the few who has this ability to influence on other influencers' channels, but not having the handler or resource behind them to promote it and propagate it, in terms of rather if they doing it by a trick, like I hear people saying that they can buy views, or even if they doing it with an engine that's behind them in terms of promoters, like OG Philly, how he got Chris Cyphers behind him and Rashard Flat Power and all these motherfuckers who sponsoring and pushing his shit, versus where Sanchez is already self-made, into it's much more easier to hop on his bandwagon and pick up his following versus really organically growing yourself. And this is where I'm at in terms of the point of where I'm at. So when I'm engaging on these platforms, they have to cover their ass in terms of what I can bring to their platform. It's not attractive to the algorithm for people who are searching for the truth, for Didactagon, the Automan, to pop up in a search engine. More than likely, if they put in some shit like Egyptian mystic science, you might get like a KT Arch degree, or you might get a Mathodici and shit like that, that will put you in a state of confusion, unlike how you would get a Didac. So it's incumbent upon people like me to go on these bigger platforms to inform the people and warn them that these motherfuckers, number one, are spewing nothing but confusion and dumb shit. That's number one. And number two, guard yourself. Now, if you're coming up here for entertainment purposes, understood. Even with me, because I'm not above reproach. If you're coming up here for entertainment purposes, that's straight with me. But one thing that I'm not going to do is I'm not going to kowtow. I'm not going to be doing that dingo and the baby shit, all that background dumbass shit. I don't own a microphone. I don't got a headset. I am doing it from my motherfucking laptop, which is expensive. But with that being said, I'm doing my shit from my fucking laptop, and I got a few phones and a few cameras so I can get a few angles and shit like that if I want to step it up. But I don't need to, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this shit works. But to look the part. I think y'all stretching it. And I want to warn y'all about the people that does that shit, that got the headphones and all that shit. That shit is unnecessary. But these are the people, algorithms that are heavy out there. And the people who have smaller channels such as myself, the algorithm will pick up for them who are searching for answers to questions. So it's hard for them to find me. Linda in the motherfucking building. Yep, you sure did. Yep, you're going to have to go back. This is a pretty long one.
From where? A search engine. Did he search?
My fault. Yep. I'm sorry, Linda, that you missed out. This almost been a 4-hour stream. It's 3 hours and 57 minutes in. Yep, it's going on 3 in the morning. I am so glad that y'all can show up and show out. And I will see y'all next time. Until then, be safe. Be productive, right? Meet the opportunity to use it and take advantage of it. Do not misuse it. Do not take disadvantage of it, because we can see those type of people doing that, and that's Sanchez. Sanchez takes disadvantage of shit and he misuses shit. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I am now out. Thank y'all very much, and I'll see y'all on the up and up.